I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Good morning, Garage Gym Life. RIP to Robin Williams. But thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. On this show, we talk about fitness-related content from a home gym perspective, and we get your live reactions to the topics that matter to the home gym community. I am John Greaves III. I'm the co-founder of Garage Gym Life. If this is your first time trying this show out, giving us a shot, thank you so much. I got to give a welcome to you again because we appreciate you being here. All right, now I want you to stick around because we have a fun show for you guys today, something that we really haven't done since we started the show. So there's a lot of cool stuff for you to see and interact with. And I do mean interact. I want you guys to put your comments in the live chat. But if you're watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang. Put your comments, react to the topics we bring up. You guys do a great job of that, and I want you to keep it rolling because that is what makes this show so special and makes us stand apart. All right, before we go any further, I need to bring on the person that a lot of you guys are really here to see, and it ain't me. It's the star of the show, the triathlete herself. That's right. Let's go ahead and play her theme song. My wife, Naomi. Hey.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
How is everybody doing?
I have a question.
Answer.
Was that theme song playing in your head at any point during your run, during the run portion of your race?
No.
It should have been. Should have been. You did the entire race wrong then. That's unforgivable, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how we're going to get over this, but well, I'll work through it. I'll work through it with you. But anyway, I'm really disappointed, actually. I'm that's hurtful.
That's a personal thing.
Finding that out is actually very hurtful to me. That I personally look for that song for you. It even has Brooklyn in the name.
I get it. But literally the hills on the ride, the only thing I kept saying to myself was just keep spinning. Just keep spinning.
Seriously?
Yes.
Finding Nemo? Oh my goodness.
Not just keep swimming.
Paraphrase from Finding
However,
Nemo.
I should have had that, but just keep
Yes, because you swam. You know what? We are ahead.
We're ahead.
We're not supposed to be doing triathlon recaps right now. Naomi, you're trying to get me off topic already. Everybody, we're supposed to be asking people to like and subscribe. So let's do that now. Hey, like and subscribe, because what you just saw is what you're going to keep on seeing. That's how this show goes. It's pretty much like that, as I'm one man on a quest for justice, and my wife is here to support me in all that I do. Every single thing. She co-signs.
Or of a witness to be able to testify.
No, we don't have time for that. We got to go say hello to the people in the live chat. Before we do that, Naomi, tell everybody what is on the menu for today.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. So on today's show at 6:05, we have news and other things with me. We're going to go over my recap for the triathlon. HomeGymCon updates include we are finally know where John's bench pressing at the event. Channel news, cool stuff that's going on with our channel. And today is the day that we finally go over all of the topics that we've been passing over, like the machines that help you avoid getting on the ground for hip thrusts. Then at 6:45, is everybody looking forward to this segment, is the Recliner of Rage. John's mad again, and you'll find out why. Then in the second hour at 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, Matthew Porter from Porter PhysEd Fitness makes his return to Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. And then in the third hour at 8 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. Central, Ryan from Caracara Metals is back to talk about his latest updates with his business while welding a product live. Hopefully he doesn't include setting himself on fire again. Plus more videos to the videos we love from channels we watch playlists, and then what John learned this week.
Yeah, I told you guys we got a lot. We got a lot. Of course, we have a lot of topics every week, but we usually get derailed. So we do have a question of the day. What I should have added, we have like a standing easy question of the day I can always add, right? And that is, how fast do you guys think that we're gonna get off topic as soon as the show, like over under 5 minutes before we get off topic? All right, that's
5
right. It
minutes
should be like, how
generous.
fast do you think? Y'all go ahead and start putting that in the chat. How fast do you think we're gonna go off topic during this stream? All right, and while we do that, let's go ahead and jump into the live chat and see who's here. See who got to the building first. Okay, so let's see here. My guy Carlos. Carlos, he said, I wrote my good short for this. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means, that you wrote your good short for this. Normally I can decipher things that people write. I don't know what that means. Carlos is a man who lives on the edge. He has zero, as far as I can tell, he has zero shame in public. He will dress as anything or anyone. He's literally the first person I can say had a Viking axe fight at a movie theater, and also dressed as a Smurf, and I think Maui and Elphaba. Yeah,
he really gets into the role. He really should be paid.
He gets way more into the role than he should. Let's say that. I'll admit
that. By a lot of these movies for their marketing departments.
Something. He says, if I could only do one thing all week, I choose to get up way too early. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh, that's right.
Thank you, Carlos.
And I appreciate that, my man. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Sean from Colonial Barbell was next. He said, I don't always wake up early. Oh, crap, I do. Thank God it's Friday. Morning, Garage Gym Life team. Hey, man.
Morning.
So it's amazing to me that Sean isn't the first in the building, but because he's at work. But I guess, like he's actually working. So,
right.
So I guess that does make sense. Never mind. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. There we go. Trevor says, let's kick the tires and light the fires. Okay. Right now, no Googling. Do you know what movie that's from?
No.
Okay. I think it's from Top Gun, but I'm not sure. Trevor, am I right? Because I'm not Googling it either.
Is that a Red Hot Negative Ghost Rider?
No, it is not. Do not say that. I do not like. No, that's not how you say that. It's wrong. That's wronger than the wrongest wrong thing that you last said that was wrong.
No.
Yes. All right. Let's talk to Winston. Inca has arrived. What's up, my man? Hey, look. My guy, I am so glad he was up late, or maybe I was up late, and we were exchanging DMs, talking. So I'm glad that you're able to still out of bed. I don't even know if he's out of bed, but I'm glad you're up and you're here hanging out with us, getting your day started. I appreciate you so much, my man. Appreciate you. Somebody else we appreciate. Letha. She said, happy Friday. Good morning, friends. Have an amazing day. Hey, it's already amazing because y'all helped us start it. So yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna be talking good things about Letha.
Talk about
in a few minutes.
And her daughter in a few minutes. Yes, absolutely.
Because you are the awesomerest. Let's see here. All right, that next comment needs to go into the start because it's question of the day. Carlos said, oh, thank you. Said, your mic sounds nice. Check 2. That's right. Shout out to Salt and Pepper. And here we go. He says, no, May. Oh, right. Hey, John. Yeah. See, look, the disrespect. The disrespect. All right. Letha said, Naomi, such a rock star. I 100% agree. Carlos, you trying to go ahead. We're not talking about the triathlon yet. We're not talking about the triathlon. Stop it.
That was small children and dogs, big dogs, were going to get hit by that backpack.
Hey, they don't need to be standing there while a man's trying to get stuff done. Trevor said, wait, the show's off track. Say it isn't so. Look, I'm telling you, man.
Always.
I every week I have a very well organized and put together. Occasionally there's misspellings, but they're corrected before the show start. But I have a rundown.
But never an Oxford comma.
No. Shortly after the show starts, the rundown goes out. Last week, it went completely out the window because I asked Jonathan one question I had planned. And after that, we were just in the Wild West.
You had no questions.
I made the mistake of pausing and saying, yeah, so what do you think? And he immediately went off on a different tangent that I was not ready for. But
Nope.
I love it.
There you go.
Beast
love,
from Chicago
love
said,
it.
good morning. Have a great week. Thank you, B.
Good
Thank you so much. Thanks
morning.
for being here. Our guy Carp said, yep. I'm a card-carrying member of the FOC, as is Naomi. We're going to be having our annual meeting next weekend. So I need all y'all there to get your membership badges. Let's see. Carlos said, how fast we get off topic? 0.u seconds. What? Hold on a second here.
That's not you.
That's the thing I like about Carlos, though. He's got the one-liners. Remember, we were telling him something, and he was like, "Hold on, excuse me, while I adjust this lie." I was like, "What?" He said, "I wear many hats and wigs." Sadly.
There we go.
Sadly. Oh, it was Independence Day. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, I love that movie too, and I don't remember that line. How did I not remember that line? You know what? I gotta have that playing.
That's probably
today.
Will Smith. That sounds like a Will Smith line. But I knew it had to be something like a fighter pilot said, but I thought it was Top Gun because I was picturing, I was like, that they walking to the plane or something. So
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Sean said it's also Independence Day. Carp said Independence Day. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carlos says definitely is in Top Gun. Yes, I know it. All right, there we go.
So I'm gonna have to.
Look at me.
I'm gonna have to Google it because when we have 3 out of 4, I'm wondering, or it could be used multiple times.
All right, this one I do know where it's from. He said, as a great reverend would say. Okay, I definitely know. I even know who said it. I don't know what the character's name was, but I know who the actor was who said it.
Okay.
As a great reverend, it was Harry Connick Jr. In Independence Day.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep. And there you go. Sean said, "Yep, old Harry Connick Jr. Is he still singing? Is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Okay. Is he still singing?
I'm sure he is. Maybe in Vegas.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you say it's time to kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. There we go.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely a Will Smith kind of line.
Let's see here. I think that was Harry Connick who said that too. Anyway, Trevor said everybody has a plan to get punched in the face. Yeah, that's from the great prophet Mike Tyson. Yep.
That is true. That is true.
Carlos said, spoiler alert, he didn't make it. No, he did not. He was in the movie right about until his contract ran out. All right. Anyway. All right. So that was we have checked out who was in the chat. Before we get to news and other things, I want to encourage you guys to try vidIQ. vidIQ just released a video talking about how to use the new YouTube custom search feature. You may not even know about that, but there's a new YouTube custom search feature, and it's very heavily AI generated. But vidIQ released a video letting you know how to use that, along with a tool that's only available for people who are vidIQ subscribers. So if you are a content creator, you need to grab this tool because it basically helps you do research so you can find the people who are most likely to watch your videos. And the only way to do that is to have vidIQ. If you're a content creator and you don't have vidIQ, you're doing it wrong. Check out vidIQ today. Get your life together. Just make sure you use our link. That's right, because that's what Jesus would do, because he loves us and he loves you too. So he wants you to succeed on YouTube just like I do. Use this link and it'll get you started. vidIQ.com/JG3. And you will also be supporting the show. All right. Now it is time to dive into first segment, news and other things. Let's go. I think I may have underestimated how much milk I need, because when I added the oats to this shake,
I'm about to say
it changed the algorithm. So I'm here. This Visp, not sponsored, but I am taking money Visp. But my Visp is working overtime to try to stir this up. So steer it up.
Well, considering that you
darling, steer it up. You know who's saying that?
I love how you're trying to change the subject.
What are you talking about? Sorry, we gotta do the news. And in fact, question of the day: what is the first booth that you are going to be visiting at HomeGymCon if you're attending? If you are not attending HomeGymCon, what is the first brand you want to see video tours about? See how I included everyone in the question because I'm a professional. I do this. I do this.
I don't have enough coffee yet.
All right, so go ahead, put your comment in the live chat. If you're watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang, by the way. Drop your answer in the comment section. All right, so let's go to said live chat, and we are going to see the first answer to this question. Let's see here. I believe it's from Inca. Yep. All right, Winston says, I'd like to see a Prime Fitness or a Temple of Gains booth tour. Now, I don't know if we've mentioned this to people in the past, but I want to say this right now that MWPIG5 saves 5% at Prime Fitness USA. I don't know if people know about that. All right. You know, I don't know, because the word never gets out there, you know, and I'm just trying to help Jason out. So I'm just letting people know that is something that's real. That exists.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay. But anyway, yeah. So he said he'd like to see a Prime Fitness or a Temple of Gains booth tour. Temple of Gains is getting a lot of traction. I actually saw I don't know if you remember this, but when that guy Eugene was talking trash about Temple of Gains, I think it actually helped them and boosted their notoriety because you have people defend them and all that kind of stuff. So once again proves, I don't know who said it first, but all publicity is good publicity.
It's good publicity. Yep.
All right. Oh, everybody stop the presses. We have, you know what? Normally I don't do this, but this is a special occasion. And I'm actually glad to see this person in here because I was thinking about you the other day, my man. I wanted to call and check in on you. But regardless, let's go ahead and, you know, this guy, well, I can't play Jonathan's theme. We'll play this. I just want to give you a warm welcome. I want everybody to be in the right frame of mind as I put up this awesome comment because we got the Kurt Locker back. The Kurt Locker says, I'll be at the Strongman Throwdown booth.
There you go.
Everybody go check him out. Hang out with him. Shake his hand. Admire his beard. He's real. He exists. And he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to have to remove the switcher
I have
from
not
here.
had pre-workout today.
That's the scary part.
That's still, I'm cooking it up right now, though.
Oh, boy.
All right. That is correct. Who's saying stir it up? That's right. Bob Marley. Carlos. My God. Hitting on all cylinders. Trevor said, I will be showing up at the Anchor booth on Thursday afternoon to interrupt your live stream with them. Yes.
Come on.
Please do.
Come on.
Show up. Ask random questions. Ask random questions. If you happen to know the square root of 1181, go ahead and bring that up. But yeah, we're going to be having a good what? That's a math. That's math because I'm all about education, Naomi. You know that because that's what benefits the children. Anyway, so as I was saying, yeah, man, come on by. We'll be happy to have you, man. Naomi will be there. Also, if you guys are not there, Naomi will be monitoring the live stream. So if you have questions about the booth or whatever, or about HomeGymCon in general, you can throw those questions there, and Naomi will be funneling them, I guess, to us.
Yeah, I'll be reading them out. I'll be letting you know what the questions are, so that way you can address them.
Yeah. All right. So it's going to be interactive, just like all of our live streams are. Shout out to the 1,581 of you who are watching the madness go on. You know what I want you to do, though, and that is I want you guys, don't just watch passively. I need you to like and subscribe. That's the right thing to do. Do it now. Like and subscribe.
And share.
And share this video.
Enjoyed this, or watch the train wreck or the car accident. As we go off track. Share it.
Oh boy, here we go. Kurt says he's bringing a butterfly suit for me. So that brings me back to something that we haven't talked about in a while. I know it's been a minute since you've been here. Kurt,
is that the invite that you got in your email?
Well, no. Yeah, a couple of years ago, invited me to the Butterfly Festival. So once again, Kurt, I know it's been a while, so you may have forgotten this, but this is a no butterfly zone.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
right. No, but oh, you didn't know I spent that's in the show budget. I went ahead and had that made. So
I'm
no
gonna have to do
butterfly
line item
zone.
checks for you. Oh my god. And
uh
again, remember you had said that we're not gonna go off topic?
oh, I just want Carlos to win his bet.
Okay.
Moving on. News and other things. So first off, triathlon recap with Naomi. I'm gonna go ahead and do a screen share, which is gonna be, that's right, the first screen share of the day. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're too kind. So let's go right here
Wow.
and we're gonna play this. So that is Letha coming up, and I did not know she was coming.
Yeah,
So
it
as we got
was
this playing right
awesome.
here, were you talk about your like your emotions when you saw that she arrived? Because you had the biggest smile on your face when I said, Naomi, look.
Yeah, so I'm like before the start of any race, I'm always like trying to get in the zone. Like out of the entire, endurance, the hardest part or the one that needs to take most of your focus is going to be the swim. Um, Going out, coming back, the whole 9 yards. And so I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for that. And then I hear John again, Naomi, and I'm like, okay. And I turn and he's pointing, and there's Letha and her daughter.
And
The
Letha's not
kid,
very tall, so we had to angle her so you
he's
could
doing
see
this,
her.
he's doing this
I'm like, no,
and
look
whatnot.
further down. Yeah, okay, there you go.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. And it was so like surprising and shocked, but also so just seeing them and hearing their cheers. Now, as you saw me going into what it honestly, it wasn't mucky like my last race. It's a boat ramp, but it's slick. So I'm having to make sure that I don't like slip. Um, but this is my first triathlon with the tri suit. Need a little bit more time in there because one of the things that definitely impacted me in the swim was not being able to get a full breath. And the other thing is that, like I have mentioned before, I do have a swim trauma that prevents me from being able to hold my nose properly. So I do have a nose pincher, and I had gotten out maybe a few strokes and it actually popped off and I caught it. Um, so I'm trying to get it put back on and I couldn't get a good breath. And I actually had kind of flipped over my back and I started having a little bit of a scare, of a panic, because it's also open water and I'm kind of being pushed a little bit. So you having to swim with the current, trying to, and so you have life guides. That's the other thing. There are life guides along the way. You have them
Yeah.
in either kayaks or they're in the water with buoys, and they'll call them angels. So they'll ask, like, if you look like you're in distress or whatnot, they want to make sure that you know that there's some place where you can, you can get help. And the guy in the kayak was like, Angel. And I'm like, like, I'm actually considering this is the first time I've ever had a race where I actually considered. And then it's literally Letha and Lakili and John and, and Nora. I just hear them in my head, you know, Naomi. And I'm like, okay, I can't stop.
Yeah.
This is out of all races I've ever done, this is not the one. So I
Yeah.
just kind of took my time. When I looked at my race result, time-wise for that, I did go up by like 4 minutes than
Mhm.
what my normal pace would
What
be
was
for that.
how did that hurt you? Well, it probably did hurt you, but in
It
terms of your age
well,
group, because don't they give medals out or whatever for your age group
so
too?
this one is, yeah. So I mean, I finished 10th for my age group. Um,
It's not bad.
but it's not
This is your
bad.
second triathlon in 10 years.
No, no. It's been sooner than that because Nora was about 5
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
I did mine. So
Still been a minute.
I've done a few, but
Not
accumulatively
recently.
it's been like uh no, because the other one that I did in Savannah was a faster pace.
No,
And I
no,
think
I'm saying like that's only like your second triathlon since you've been back, and before that, it's been several years since you did a triathlon.
right,
So you're still
right.
kind of like getting, and like you said, the tri suit is different.
The
You
tri-suit
had
is different. It's
you
a
almost lost your nose plug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but once I was able to get out of the water, and again, the current was pushing people. Really, I didn't think it was strong at first, but it's actually one of those that's kind of like sneaky
So
on
we're
there
watching you drift off like this, where we're like, "What's going on here?" I thought you were in
because
trouble.
it's also
It's like,
near the bridge. So
yeah,
there's like a bridge too. Um, and so then once I was able to come out, I was like, okay, this is the swim is done. I'm good. Let's get on the bike. The course for the bike course was actually quite nice. It's not the one that I did the last time when I did the
15
Georgia
miles, right?
Peach. It's 15 miles, but it's a different route. And
Okay.
there are more hills this with this go around. There were hills when I first did this race before.
Hmm.
It had been about the last time I did the Georgia Peach was in 2019. Um, and so while there were hills, they weren't as steep,
You said they were rolling last time.
like rolling hills. This one, it's like there were sneaky hills at first, but there were a few that, like I told John and Letha, it reminded me of one of the hills at Camp Pendleton. Not a hill, like a mountain. Like you think you get to the top,
Yeah,
then it kind of levels out, and then it.
I hated that thing.
So that's why I kept just like, just keep spinning,
You
just
think you're at the top, and you're telling yourself all the way up there. Okay, I just got to get to right there,
I just
and then you get
sit
to the
right there.
top, and that's when you see the rest of the hill that you didn't see because of the angle of the first part of the hill. You just like, seriously.
Mhm. Yep.
So yeah.
But when I looked at my time, I actually was faster on the bike than I was for my
Mm,
last race. And then the run was an out and back.
nice.
And so it was overall, I'm very happy with how I did on the race. Definitely some things that I've learned is I need to be able to do all three sports with using the tri suit. So as it gets
Shout
closer to
out
the
to all three
race,
sports, by the way.
oh, yep, all three sports. Um,
Please.
so just
That's
to
where she bought the tri suit.
practice
For those who were wondering.
exactly.
Yeah.
But to just be able to train with it for like all three sports, just to kind of get an idea, get some more open swim because I've used the tri suit in the pool and it's different. It's definitely different. Open water swim is, it's definitely different because of the
Okay.
current and just depending on how the day is. So, um, but it was overall, it was really cool.
And then we
Letha,
got to hang out with Letha after that.
yes, yes. Like I
And
didn't
that was
realize that
cool.
she came down the night before. And now, granted, she had a whole itinerary that she was flexible with, but it was really cool to hang out with Letha and the Keeley. Um,
Yeah.
went and ate lunch afterward, just hung out. And then they came back to the house,
Yeah.
gave a few things, got a chance to love on Mystique Alicious right down there,
Yeah.
Mystique, but we call her Mystique Alicious, and just hang
I don't
out,
know.
talk about, some of the equipment that we have in the gym. But it was just really, really cool. And they're good peoples, good
Oh yeah,
peoples.
definitely. Definitely. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool seeing her because she, you know, we hadn't had any conversations about her coming. All that happened is I mentioned it. Well, no, we did when I went to her place. When Nora and I
Mhm,
went to her place to do the video about the Refit abduction machine, the Panther.
mhm,
We mentioned it, but she didn't say she was coming.
mhm.
And then I mentioned it on the live stream, and that was pretty much it. And I was like, okay, well, I guess nobody's coming, no big deal. And then I literally, like you guys saw, I turned around and she was there. I said, oh shoot, hey, you made it. Okay. I was shocked.
Do you
And
really want to
then,
say you made it?
well,
Is
yeah, I
that
mean,
the
I was
word
like,
you
yeah,
want to use?
like I didn't know what to. That's real. I said, oh, hey, she made it. And then, I know you were shocked because I didn't even bring it up
Mhm.
after, like, she didn't say she was coming or anybody. So I was like, I didn't want to like have you waiting
Yeah,
for expecting people because you had
yeah.
enough going on. So Carlos, I just want you to know that that's the most athletic waddle you've ever seen in your life. Okay.
I mean,
I was covering ground. Y'all saw hey,
when
I was
I
passing
saw
people
that
who were on
video,
bikes. Okay.
busted, I busted out laughing. It was to the point it making me snort, laugh. It was
She
hilarious
did.
because so John, that backpack goes with John everywhere,
Yeah.
and it's if you're not again, if he turns too fast, he's knocking out children. I've seen him, knock over grown men, um, tall dogs.
Tall
It,
dog.
dep-
I don't recall that. I don't recall
hey, depending on how tall.
that.
Like again, we have Mystique, but one day maybe a wolfhound. We're
When you
working
see
our
us
way up.
coming, you better stand aside. Many men didn't, and many men died.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
It's in, we warn you in the dang cadence.
Okay.
Trevor,
Okay.
yes, every military base has a hill that never ends. It's like has the switchbacks. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yes.
That one is at for those who've been to Camp Pendleton, it's at Polgus, and it's like overlooking the barracks. And you just go up that thing and you just like, okay, oh, and you just tell yourself, oh,
Like,
it's gonna be
it's
over.
done.
So we'll get to the top, and you get to the top, and it's not the top. And you just say, so yeah,
Yep.
misery. Letha said, out of all the reasons you could have chosen to quit, you instead chose to push yourself to become at least 1% better mentally and physically than you were before. What a legacy. And also, Lakili will be so glad you pronounced her name correctly. Yeah.
Yes.
Carlos. Okay. I shouldn't.
What?
Okay. He said that backpack brings all the ducks to the yard. That I'm not sure about that. We're still thinking about whether or not. I'm going to say pause just in case. I like how the camera followed you. Your camera followed you when you put your head down. It was like, this is a special moment, and we need to be supportive, and we're gonna come in close. Okay, like that was like you did that just now, and it was like suspense. I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool. I didn't even know we could do that. I need to get some music the next time you do that. Thank you, Letha. That Waddle was a man on a mission. It was a perfect example of a selfless husband on a mission to make sure his wife knew he's in this race right along with her. Yes, thank you, Letha. Thank you. You just rocketed to the top of the friendship charts, right ahead of Carlos. There you go.
I'm sorry, but that backpack brings all the ducks to the. That's gonna be like stuck in my head. Thanks, Carlos.
Sean said Quantico is nothing but yes. Yeah, Quantico's I got some stories about Quantico. It was
we drove past Quantico, didn't we? We never went.
I've been to Quantico because I went there for sergeant's course.
That's
where I found out about the Billy Dooley. That's right. The burger with that's what they call the cheeseburger with a fried egg on it. I was like, oh.
That's not the one where you wanted the shirt. That was Camp Lejeune that you wanted that replacement shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let's go into question of the day. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. No, I was gonna say, and again, off topic.
Yeah.
So
I'm just double checking to make sure we didn't miss any. Hey, what's up? Jonathan said no fade channel. Checking in. That's right. All right. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. Sign up list for the live show HomeGymCon. We've got 30 confirmed guests. I had somebody who had to back out for understandable reasons. But that's okay. You guys keep on signing up. That link is in the video description, but I'm going to add it to the live chat right now. No, the show should not be titled Off Topic, Trevor. However, I will tell you that we have more brands. So the brands who have said they'll be there, Porter PhysEd Fitness will be kicking things off at 7 a.m. Synergy Custom Fitness is going to be there. Bells of Steel has just signed up their new creative partnerships manager, Victoria. Shout out to Victoria. She told me yesterday that Kayvon will be there at the live show. So he's going to come up there and do a 15-minute segment. Strength Flex Fitness is bringing something special that we have been working on with them. That's going to be part of our giveaway to you guys. A joint giveaway with them for you guys. Anchor's going to sleep in. They're going to come through at 8 a.m. with a surprise gift. Matt from RitFit, he's coming through at 8:15. He's bringing items to raffle. Bringing items for a raffle. And they won't be just duplicates of what you can get at the booth. So you need to be at the show if you want to have a chance to take these items home with you. Pete Keller from Frenchport will be there 8:30 with gift cards and tons of info, and maybe we'll get him to do a random cartwheel for absolutely no reason at all. I'm working on that, but he's going to be there. Frenchport will be there 8:30, and then Scott from Body Solid will be there with a special announcement, and he's going to be closing out the day for us at 8:45 a.m. All brands have agreed to bring a giveaway item, so that is the most up-to-date update I could give you. All right. Then next we got, we've told you guys already, Trevor actually mentioned it. We've got our live stream. Make sure you guys come by and say hello during our live stream. We'll be at the Anchor booth on Thursday. So I guess we should have technically done it in a different order because the live stream with Anchor is on Thursday, and then our live in-person show, this show is on Friday as normal. But we didn't. So anyway, so we got a live stream at the Anchor booth, and make sure you guys come by and say hello during the stream. The goal of that is to shout out all you guys who are attending HomeGymCon, especially if you're there on day one. So yes, I want you to come over. We'll shout you out, your IG, your YouTube channel if you got one. I'll sing happy birthday to someone. I'll sing Merry Christmas if you want. If you want me to do it, whatever. Let's just have a good time with it. However, public service announcement, it has come to my attention. I need to add to the PSA from last week. So last week I told you, do not come on stream. I want you to come on stream, but don't come on stream if you are supposed to be sick at home from work. Okay.
Yes. We will
when
not
we were growing up, if live streaming had been a thing when we were growing up, we wouldn't have had to tell people this, but y'all this is a different generation now. So don't come to the stream if you're supposed to be sick home from work. Also, apparently I've got to also let you know not to come on stream if you are currently in the witness protection program. Believe it or not, relocated individuals have sometimes created unauthorized social media profiles and been kicked off the program. So if you're supposed to be hiding out from the mob, the U.S. Marshal Service has told you to lay low. Do not come on this live stream because we will shout you out and you will be as famous as we can make you. And so, again, I'm trying to cover all our bases because this is for the people. I'm not making that up either. Yes, people from who are in witness protection have outed themselves. And yeah, so there you go.
All I know is if anything could happen,
I mean,
and only because this guy right here I've been with for quite some time.
20 plus, yes.
If anything can happen, could happen, it would happen.
We done a lot.
So there's a reason why these PSAs are being added.
Just saying, I'm just telling you. Look, because you say, why would you have to do that? I'm like, okay. I'm just saying.
There's been many times I'm like, what are you putting in there now? Oh, water flavor. Okay.
I told you I don't need any. Do you think I need some pre-workout?
That's what I was afraid you were doing.
No, I'm good. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. Okay. It's so no. There's been many times where John has come and he's like, "Babe, I did not know. I was an innocent bystander."
People literally come up and tell me random stuff that sometimes they probably shouldn't have told me.
And granted, when he says I'm an innocent bystander, part of me goes, innocent? Oh, yeah. Innocent? But yeah.
I was framed. Let's see here. Okay. Carper said, while we're on this particular hill, we'll never know. But I do know today, if you continue to run up that particular hill, you will be victorious once again. You should have been there when I was running up the hills at Pogus. That would have been good. Question of the day. Kevin said, first brand I want to see, definitely not Rep, RitFit, X-Master, Anchor, and not Rep, RitFit, or X-Master. No, hold up. Let me start over. First brand I want to see, definitely not Rep. Yes, and I understand why. Instead, he said RitFit, X-Master, Anchor, and Gentleman's Fitness Club, home court represent. There we go.
Yes.
Yes. All right. It took me a minute, but I got through that one. All right.
Yeah, definitely want to see what's at RitFit. Definitely want to see what Will is bringing. We'll always bring something cool to a lot of the conferences. Anchor, of course, looking forward to that. And then Gentleman's Fitness. That bench.
Let's go ahead and say the entire name, Gentleman's Fitness Club. I'm still not comfortable with their name.
Yeah, Gentleman's Fitness
not comfortable.
Club.
But okay.
Making sure that, just like there are certain stores, you need to make sure that you put the full name in fitness, because if you just put in a certain store.com, it's not what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So you've got to say,
things have gone bad in the past trying to search, doing innocent searches. Not mentioning any names because that could also go bad for the algorithm.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not hiding out in plain. I'm not in witness relocation. No. I'm a public figure. I just found that out. Okay. Not like 30 seconds ago. I mean, Anyway, I'm not on PEDs. I don't need that. I'm all natural, man. All natural. Comfortable. However, I am heading to the shoe store this weekend to grab my HomeGymCon shoes. Y'all have been sharing with me your comfortable shoe update. I've had people actually DM me questions about comfortable shoes. I had somebody send me an insole question. Yeah, it's like what brand of insoles I found. I'm gonna go with just straight up Dr. Scholl's because I looked at Old Bones Therapy because I like their knee brace. I will be wearing the knee brace, but it's too expensive for just once a year. You know what I mean? Like I don't need them all the time. So I'm like, what I said was to the person was if this was like a regular thing, then yeah, I go ahead and get the Old Bones Therapy insoles. But this is literally it's once a year. So I'm just gonna buy 3 pairs of Dr. Scholl's and just every night, use it, toss it out next. The best shoes are not on the hard concrete floor. Not on that hard concrete floor. Sorry,
I would agree with
nope.
you to a degree because I rather be barefoot, but on those floors, even in the areas where they had like some kind of carpet or padding,
it's brutal.
No,
nah, not the kid.
Last
year it hurt so bad my knee wouldn't bend.
I think the only relief I had literally was at X Masters deadlift platform.
On the deadlift platform.
We stood on that and we're like, oh. But then, I mean, it literally will go up to the crow's nest or the executive suite, whatever you want to call it. I call it the crow's nest. Sit down, put my feet up because they were throbbing.
Eric said I competed shoeless last year and will again this year. Now, competing shoeless,
that's different.
But I'm talking about like walking around all day without shoes. Nah, bruh. Carp signed up for the live show. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Those of you who are channel members, don't forget that tomorrow we've got a members only live stream. It's going to be 8 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be giving our paying channel members a sneak preview of our Shopify store, not only to say thank you for your support, but also we want to get your feedback. You're going to be the primary, I don't want to say beta testers because it's not like you got the product in hand, but you guys are going to be the ones who are kind of going to give us the feedback that influences how the kind of stuff we have in the store, and as far as brands and the products that we carry in the store, especially like the Garage Gym Life merch. You guys are going to be able to influence that. So yeah, and then I'm gonna answer any questions you have. The idea is not for this won't be a long stream, be like maybe 30 minutes. So I'm thinking 30 minutes and we're out of there. I mean, of course, if you guys have questions, we'll keep going, but I don't plan on doing it longer than 30 minutes unless there are questions. Like I'm not gonna stretch the stream out, but I'm looking forward to it. So again, if you're watching this live, the redirect will take you to that live stream. And if you're not a channel member, you'll see it, but you won't be able to watch it. So becoming a channel member is 99 cents. The link to become a member is in the video description. It's literally 99 cents. So if you want to know about our Shopify store ahead of time, then you go ahead and just join the stream. This stream will not be recorded. So if you are a channel member and you miss it, you're just going to have to wait until, the store goes public. But yeah. Let's see here. 10. Okay, is this 10 a.m. Friday? Carp, you and Sean are going to be doing your booth. Your thing at the Garage Gym competition booth. Is that 10 a.m. Friday or is it 10 a.m. Saturday? Go ahead and put that in the chat. That way people know when they can swing by to check you guys out. Let's see here. And I'm going to be benching at the Bells of Steel booth. So the plan is for 10 a.m. sharp. Coincidentally, I don't know. The plan is 10 a.m. sharp on Friday. That may change to 10 a.m. Saturday. But I'm waiting. Okay. Friday. So while I'm benching, you guys will be doing that. That's completely fine. So you guys go support them, support Carp and Sean. If you don't do that, then come on over to the Bells of Steel booth. I'm going to be working up to a heavy single on the bench.
Back and forth.
And that'll be followed immediately by a bench or bodyweight competition at the Bells of Steel booth. they're going to be giving out $25 gift cards to the winners. So that's going to be a good time. So like I said, we're going to be starting at 10 a.m. and then 10 a.m. at the Bells of Steel booth. All right, we got about 5 seconds, and I'm really going to do this because I'm tired of pushing it to the next week. All right, you guys really hate getting on the ground. So many of you tell me that you love hip thrusts, but you hate getting on the ground. And actually, I should bring this up with Matthew Porter because he was complaining. He called me and I don't know what he actually called for, but next thing I know, we were talking about how he hates getting on the ground for hip thrusts, and he was looking for a solution. I think he may have known about a solution for machines that do it. So Watson Gym, we found 2 solutions. So there's Watson Gym equipment. That's one solution. And let me go ahead and throw this on here and make sure the sound is off. Let's see here. Yep, got it. All right, good. I knew the sound wasn't on. They're very sneaky over there with their demonetization efforts. All right, so this is a standing hip thrust from Watson Gym Equipment. You guys have used any Watson stuff, you know that they have high quality stuff. We saw them at HFA. So they're always coming up with something, but I wasn't prepared for this. So this is a standing hip thrust. I actually saw Kinsey mention this on her Instagram, which led me to the second item, the second solution that I saw because of Kinsey. And that is a solution for a similar solution, but that is rack mounted. And this one is from Brute Force Australia. So I remember when I showed this to you, Naomi, you were like, okay, well, how does that work? And it almost looks like you're setting up for a Spanish squat. But yeah.
Spanish squat. Okay, now I got to Google that one. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, so what else can you use that piece of equipment? Like it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. And then I got sidetracked by the actual rack, the way the holes were, but that I digress. But I was like, okay, so it does that. What else can you use that piece of equipment for? Is it just for the hip thrust, or can you use it for any other, accessory move?
I mean, I give credit that it's at least it seems to be a little bit more space saving than this, which is a standalone machine.
That's a standalone machine. Absolutely.
But it's still going to take up a fair amount of room because if you take it off the rack, where are you going to store it? You know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
It's like some other pieces we have. They're like, oh, it's really compact. It's like, yeah, but if you take it off the thing it's attached to, where do you store it when it's not being used? So
right. And I mean, they do have this like laying down. It's not really laying down if you have a machine. Like if you have a machine that does hip thrusts, where you're like you sit in it and you're not really on the ground, you're in a machine. So whether you're like on a seated position coming up, or you're like seated and standing up, but I mean, I guess it gives great options, especially if you may have mobility issues where it's hard to get on and off the floor. So
I mean, well, here's the thing. My answer, and Carlos said, I agree, that does look cool, but that seems like a lot for just one exercise.
Thank you.
So, which is one reason why I wish Brute Force was still going to be at HomeGymCon, because this would have been like a prime piece of equipment to have there to just check out. My thing is
yesterday.
My thing is, and again, and this goes back to my background as a personal trainer, but so I wasn't just personal trainer. I was a strength coach. And I did a lot of work with like special populations, right? And one of the things that I found was not only did they have whatever their physical challenge was, whether it's a temporary limitation or one they were born with or whatever, is that a lot of times I had to help them. I had to rebuild them past the crutches that technology gave them. Right. So it's like you already have like a limitation, and instead of working on the limitation, you do stuff that leans into the limitation that actually makes the limitation worse. And then it also leads to other problems. Right. And so that's kind of like my issue with stuff like this, is like literally get on the floor. The other thing I say about that is getting on the floor is an important thing for, especially as you get older, because people forget literally how to get up off the ground. And so you're training anyway. That's an excellent way to get a little bit more to practice that skill, is to just don't get rid of reasons to get on the floor in your workouts, like getting on the floor for hip thrusts. Now, I think there's a range of motion issue, and I think that's what Matthew Porter was saying that he didn't like about hip thrusts on the ground. But
Right.
I'm just saying, it's like, let's if you got a limitation, let's find ways to strengthen you so you don't have the limitation anymore, rather than just going for the gadget, right? Because that gadget is gonna lead to other issues downstream or down the line. Let's see here. Ryan, Caracara Metal, he said Porter's on this morning. Let's go. Yup, he is. He's on. I thought y'all planned it. I was like, oh, okay. Because originally you were gonna be on earlier this summer, and then you said, no, I'm rescheduling for July, and you told me why. But I was like, okay, that's the same day as Matthew. I said, okay, well, maybe that's just some synergy they realized would work out. Carp said he just saw my Bells of Steel ad where I'm throwing the Bells of Steel kettlebells in the air and trying to break it from HomeGymCon 2024. It's still going strong. Hey, look, got to give the people what they want. Snarkacy said Titan has a standing hip thrust.
That's what I'm trying to look for. And
Sean said the same thing. So I'm going to tell you, y'all kind of know my viewpoint about Titan. But if you don't, I do not ever recommend Titan, because I do not trust their quality control. I stand ready to be convinced that they have made changes. And Titan, anybody from Titan who wants to come on the show, you have an open invite to come on the show. And kind of, defend yourself and explain, and also talk us through any changes that you've made, any updates to correct the quality control issues you had in the past. But as a general rule, I do not recommend Titan, because I've seen too many situations where people I know personally have had issues with Titan fitness equipment that could have been corrected with just some better quality control. So I just don't like that. Trevor said, isn't the ultimate test in health being able to stand up from sitting cross-legged without using your hands? I mean, I don't know if it's the ultimate test, but I do know there was like the broomstick challenge where you had to have the broomstick through your arms. You get on the ground and you had to get back up off the ground with the broomstick through the back of your arms.
Baby?
Oh yeah. It's like you lay on the ground, you slide a broomstick between through your arms, so you're like in this position, so you can't use your hands, and you got to get up off the ground. Yeah, I remember the broomstick. That was like one of those Instagram challenges. But yes, that's one of those tests. It's like, can you get up? And so, yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So Naomi, I'm about to go into not news and other things, but
you got your recliner rage.
Oh yeah, we can't miss it. So this is let me go ahead. I'm gonna highlight this though, because I want to talk about Matthew is backstage, and we're gonna talk about this this standing hip thrust machine situation, because I know that he's a big fan of the idea. Or maybe he's not, but anyway, yeah, we'll make sure we do that. Anyway, let everybody know where to find you, and then I'll go into Recliner Rage.
Yep. You can definitely check me out on Instagram at Naomi Harris Greaves, or on YouTube at Naomi Harris Greaves, or right here at Garage Gym Life.
And you can see her next week at HomeGymCon. Come up and say hi.
I'm so looking forward to seeing everybody. See you, everybody.
All right, see ya. All right. See you right there. Okay. All right, it is time for the one segment we can never get out of here. I mean, we can never slide past or eliminate, because the people demand it. They love when I crash out, so let's crash out now. It's the Recliner of Rage.
It's the Recliner of Rage, because he's not happy.
Okay, today's Recliner Rage is dedicated to the brands who wait until the last minute to reach out to ask content creators to visit their booth at HomeGymCon, and who then complain that their booth isn't getting enough traffic. Look, I understand that smaller brands have to make sure that attending HomeGymCon fits in their budget. And sometimes you don't know that you'll be able to make it until it's kind of late in the day. But the reason why this bothers me is because we get feedback that brands are saying that, that content creators aren't visiting their booth. They're not getting enough attention from content creators at the bigger brands or whatever are getting all the attention. Well, y'all need to understand, if you're a brand owner, hear me out. You need to understand that as content creators, we've been scheduling the booths we're going to attend since April of this year. In some cases earlier, but definitely April. We got an email from Mike in April asking us which booths we were planning on visiting. All right. So if I've already committed to visit several booths, right? I mean, I know there's me and Naomi, but we go to the same booth. All right. We don't split up. Maybe we need to do that, but we don't split up. Right. So if I've already committed to visit several booths by May, and then you show up the week before HomeGymCon and ask, hey, come on by my booth, the only way we could possibly visit your booth because of how physics works is we could either cut other booth tours short, or we could try to get to your booth either before or after hours. So cutting booth tours short does a disservice to our viewers and the brands we made commitments to back in April because they were proactive. And there's no guarantee that we'll be able to visit your booth after hours, or that we'll be able to get in early to squeeze your booth in. And keep in mind that brands have also requested shorter days, which also reduces the amount of time we have to film content. We don't hate smaller brands. We love it. Content creators, especially smaller content creators, would love to visit your booth, especially if you don't get a ton of traffic, because that's content that we can show our viewers. That's not just a rinse and repeat of what everybody else is showing. But you got to understand that shooting content, taking breaks to charge batteries, we got to offload the raw footage from memory cards, takes time. It's tough. Not, just the walking to where you can plug in and charge your camera and your batteries and stuff takes time. Just offloading videos takes time. All right. And this is especially an issue for content creators who can't afford to bring editors with them to help them with the content. If you're by yourself, right, you've got to do all that stuff all at once, right? So you got to do that, and you got to visit the booths that you promised to visit, because if you don't do that, you're going to be damaging the business relationships that you've already set up. Look, if nobody's coming to first of all, it's too late in the day. I mean, HomeGymCon is next week. But I'm just saying, just try to be more proactive, okay? Reach out sooner. Reach out if you just think you're going to HomeGymCon and say, hey, we think we're going. If we're there, can you come visit our booth? We can put you down, all right? If something changes, just let us know. Hey, we're not going to be able to make it. We're fine with that. But if you're at HomeGymCon, if nobody's coming to your booth, don't go complaining that creators don't love you, that you're not getting the ROI. You could just try what Vern did with us last year to get us to visit Makolo, and what Summer did to get us to visit Spedience. Literally, stop somebody you see walking by with a camera and ask them if they got time to visit your booth. That's it. And don't wait until last minute next year, because procrastination is the first step on the road to failure. And that has been true since people showed up late to Noah's Ark and found the door shut. Like, seriously. Okay. I'm going to take a minute and just breathe. Breathe. Okay. Trevor says, I will say I appreciate vendors reaching out in advance. Yeah, the key word in that phrase is in advance. The key part of that phrase is in advance. The week before, hey, I'd really love for you. I mean, yeah, I'd love to also, but literally I've promised at this moment, I've already promised 10 other booths that I'm coming, right? We've got a live stream. We've got 2 live stream and an event with another brand that I already told you guys about, right? We're not, and other creators, they have their same thing. They've got their obligations. Sean and Carp, they're doing an AMA. We're not ignoring y'all. Okay? So just if we work together, we can make this whole thing work. There's no point in complaining about not getting traffic if you're not doing the stuff that you need to do on your end to make it easier for us to feature you, because we love getting the new and different content. That's just the way it is. I am excited to see Vern again as well, Letha. She said HomeGymCon gets more exciting by the day. All right. Now, let's go ahead, and I'm calming down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add LinkedIn to this stream. and then we're gonna get started with my guy Matthew. All right. Let's see here. We're gonna make one change right here. Matthew, are you ready? Okay, cool. All right. So let's go ahead and add him right now. Play your theme. Everyone, let's do a warm welcome to my first guest. He's a friend of the show. He's been on multiple times. He's going to be kicking off our live show at HomeGymCon, I told you guys earlier. But today he's joining us to talk about something special he's doing at HomeGymCon for diabetes research. Let's welcome Matthew Porter from Porter PhysEd Fitness. Matthew, welcome back. Thanks for getting early with Garage Gym Live.
Hey,
What's up, man?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
A little tired.
I love when you come on here because no matter how excited I am, you're always like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah, it's just always just the monotone.
Yeah, he's always like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, happy to be here. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take you on faith. I'm gonna take you on faith, man. All right.
Yeah, I stay the same all the time.
Yeah, he's just like, I just stay medium. I stay medium. All right, so man, we've got a lot, going on here. So let's go ahead and just dive right in because I want to give you a chance to talk about your your initiative and stuff. So tell us about what's going on with your initiative at HomeGymCon and the the fundraiser you're doing for diabetes research.
Yeah, so a lot of people probably don't know this, but over the past 2 years, both my brother and dad passed away from complications to diabetes. So trying to honor them and to kind of build awareness, just to let people understand like how serious of a matter diabetes actually can be for people. I'm doing a charity raffle where every $5 donation to the American Diabetic Association at HomeGymCon will be an entry into a giveaway raffle that'll include multiple items. I actually have a couple I can share as well. But I think last week you showed the X-Wing. I have that right here.
Okay, let me
So
go
they
ahead and
actually
enlarge
can.
that right there. All right, go ahead.
So it's kind of like a mid row and like a lat pull down hammer curl bar. And then I'm working with BellFed on a collab, and we're working on these like premium D handles. So those will be part of the giveaway as well, along with a it's Rory's handle from Roman Strength, but I put on my Rev Bar handles onto his bracket, so it makes this like ridiculous fat grip handle. We're only making a pair of them, so it's going to be I mean, we'll get feedback if people like it. We'll make a couple more, but it'll be kind of a one-of-one as well. And then also my lateral raise and I'm working with Carbon Strength will be in that giveaway as too. And then the way I put the raffle is I basically kind of made it open-ended. So if any other brands wanted to just kind of pitch in any other items, just so we can kind of like push and try to raise as much money as possible, they could throw in other items as well.
Okay, so so originally it was one item. Now you're
Yep.
giving away, so you're raffling off, is it 3 items?
So it's going to be the X-Wing, the Revlift handle, the belt fed handles, and the lateral raise. So 4.
4. So 4. All right, 4 products, and you might be making more of them, but at least one of them, I know you said you're not gonna make any more.
Yeah, the X-Wing. If a brand wants to partner, like likes it, wants to partner me with on it, like that's the only way it's going to get made. I'm not making more. Besides, if I get a wild hair and I want to make one for myself, but
that'll be
that's
pretty much
probably
it.
not going to happen.
All right, so you guys, if you're watching right now, Kurt said he's going to stick around for Porter. So I know that there's interest in all your products. I mean, we're fans of what you do, obviously, and the work that you do. And this is a great cause. So you guys need to make sure that if you're going to HomeGymCon, you take advantage of this opportunity to get something special, one of a kind, for a good cause. As Sean said, help a foundation for a good cause and get a cable attachment free. So go ahead and do that. Mike said, man, I'm using my Eclipse grips right now.
Awesome.
It's it's crazy because I remember when you were first talking about them, and now those things are like all over the place. I remember when they hit New Zealand, and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Are they like? I was thinking this morning. I was like, I think your Eclipse Grips are on every continent except maybe Antarctica, and heck, I don't know if they may not be there because I mean they're there for 6 months. They might be working out too. So somebody might have bought your Eclipse Grips and taken it to Antarctica. And if you are
It's
watching
in
from Antarctica, let me know.
63 different countries.
60, but is it every continent?
Yeah, every continent. I have one in Egypt. So like Africa was
That was the
not
last one.
yeah, and Egypt checked off Africa.
Boom, there we go. All right, slowly taking over the world. I hear you, Matthew. Just be a benevolent dictator, okay? That's all I ask. That's all I ask. So back to the benefit project. Is this going to be like kind of like your plan for the benefit project going forward? Because you're not going to stop doing this. You know,
No, as I'm probably gonna do something where like the kind of like a donation page on my website, just so and then have like a dedication landing site on the website as well, and then inside I do some sort of like a show or something like this. Do something. If I have an idea, just do something wild. Make a one of one. Something that I'm not sure if it's like feasible to sell it. Because like the price point for me to sell this X-Wing would be pushing like probably $500 for me to make like a decent margin on it. So it's like it's not really a viable product to be able to just, at least for the way that I'm currently making it.
Right.
But if for a good cause, and like I'll throw something together and do something interesting and cool and make a one of one, and somebody will have something hopefully they'll like and they'll last them forever, and something that literally no one else would have.
Yeah. So I'm running your website across the bottom, so you guys can go ahead, visit there, bookmark that, and then that way, whenever he has, as you guys just heard him say, he's going to have like benefit pages, a benefit landing page, so you guys can keep up with that. You can also sign up for his newsletter, so you find out about all the initiatives he's got going on, plus any new products. So go ahead and definitely visit porterpef.com. Let me talk to you about HomeGymCon as a small brand. This is something that I don't think I've ever asked you before, and I'm trying to do a better job of asking small not creators, but you technically are a content creator as well. But
I started that way.
what are some things you wish you had known? Because I think your first time was 2024. What are some things that you wish you had known before attending HomeGymCon as a business owner for the first time that you didn't even know you needed to ask?
Oh, make sure I brought like water and snacks at the booth, because I mean I was so busy the entire time I couldn't even like get away. They're like trying to find a time, like I need to go to the bathroom. Like, how do I escape the booth?
Yeah, and then you're like, well, what if somebody comes by and they want to buy something or ask me a question and I'm not here?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or and the other thing is to make sure that people that I bring, I kind of like make sure that they're up to date on all the products, because I'm the one that uses it. I'm the one that's making them, and some of them were like I made them 2 days before the show, so like they haven't had time to use them because like they just were made. So like make sure that I'm like, hey, this is how this works. This is how you explain this. Just so it's like that gives me a chance, like, oh, I can kind of go away for a second and then come back, and the booth wouldn't just be like, this is all of it be like, this is what the name of it is. What does it do? I don't know. Figure it out.
Well, go ahead. Let's hook it up and find out. That's I got you. So some of that, this actually kind of segues nicely into something you told me, and I don't know how much of this you want to reveal right now, but I guess not. It won't be a secret by HomeGymCon. But you told me some stuff on the phone about that you're going to be doing differently this year with your booth. So go ahead and tell the viewers as much as you want to reveal about it.
Yeah, so this year I'm actually partnering with Fringe Sport. So I'm going to be at their booth, and it'll be a combination booth of like they'll basically kind of be a 10 by 10 of like a little like area that I'll be inside their booth, and then I'll have my attachments spread out through their entire booth. But I'm actually partnering with them, and we're in talks and working on stuff where they're actually going to be making a few of my products.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so they're going to basically have the licensing.
Yep.
Okay.
Not all of them as of right now, at least not under contract. We'll kind of reveal like exactly which ones
Yeah,
at HomeGymCon.
they're probably not gonna make your bells of steel stuff.
Yeah, like stuff like that, and
Peter's a giving guy. He ain't that giving.
but and then there's new ones too. So like there's ones like they haven't even seen or haven't used yet. So like, but that'll be like since they're right there, like they'll be able to try like check it out, and it's like if they're interested, they might pull that over as well. But that's the big thing is like a small like creator. Like if you make cool stuff and there's other bigger brands around, like you can make those connections, and then because to me like with the Eclipse grips, I thought it was going to be like I was gonna make 100 of them. It solves a problem specifically for me. I have some wrist and hand injuries that I like nothing really worked for me. So like I'll just make the thing that I needed. And I thought that the first 100 was like that'll be it. That'll take a while to sell, but hopefully I'll get my money back from the endeavor of making these. And I it's well over 3,000 at this point total sold. And I'm like and a lot of the reason it's not higher is like I can't keep up with demand because I'm still a full-time teacher, trying to just figure out a way to do all that. I mean, all the little leather pads that go with the Eclipse grips, those are all hand punched, hand done. I'm individually packing, or my business partner, he's the one that's packing them now, but we're individually packing every single box, trying to get them out as quickly as possible. So it's one of those, it's like I'm, but something like that, like it completely stops me from making new things.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not a bad thing because you get the demand, you get it's an influx of cash into the business, everything. But what I want to do is just keep solving the issues that I'm having.
Right.
But if I'm constantly having to make one thing, that kind of stifles what I think I'm good at. Is just kind of thinking things a little bit, not necessarily like inventing anything or like that. It's more like refining stuff to dial it in for like there's some things like it's so close, but like I want it to be a little bit better. Or like that little thing bothers me, so I can if I fix that one thing, I think it will be what I want.
Yeah. So you got two comments. Mike said, I have wrist injuries, so they've been perfect, talking about the Eclipse grips. And Carpet's harassing you the same way I was about when you came on. He said, Matt, that excitement's contagious. Watch out and be careful. Yeah, I know, man. We're trying. I had to calm him down. It was out of control for a little bit. I was like, dude, I'm concerned about you.
It got me to smile.
I did. That's one of my superpowers. Sean said the V-wing is my absolute favorite attachment. That ought to make you smile, actually, to have somebody say like this thing that you just kind of, you don't even know if people are going to like it. You just like, well, I know it solves a problem for me, but I don't know if everybody's going to like it. And then somebody says, well, this is my absolute favorite attachment out of all the ones made by all the companies, some of whom have been in business for decades. And you're like, nah, this one, so that ought to, how does that feel that you've been seeing that?
Yeah, I mean, there's been he's not the only one that said that about that specific product too. But the issue with that product is the way I'm making it is absolutely insane because I'm making it like you would make a hand forged knife. So like all the edging and everything, it's all done with a belt sander and a grinder, and even the well, this is not necessarily hand set, but it's everything all done by hand. The holes, because it has to be able to rotate on an axis point. Every single hole is hand polished and hand like chamfered, and like just to make one of those, it takes me about 6 to 7 hours. But so it's like there's a very few people that have that piece just because of the time commitment that has to go into making those things. But I'm extremely excited for people at HomeGymCon to try something like that, where it's like they might not be able to buy the piece, but it's one where like it is my favorite that I make right now as well, just because it's very unique, and it's like it does a lot of things, but to me, and then a lot of people that have it, their feedback on it has been it does all those things, but instead of being a jack of all trades where it's not great at all of them, it's kind of great at all of them.
Yeah,
it's like there's no really compromise, but the compromise is my time.
Yeah.
And the amount of time, and then the price of like actually have because of the time.
I mean, but to me that increases the value. So for those of you who don't know, I guess none of y'all know because you don't hear. I don't believe you're listening to our conversations that we have on the phone. like we have a constant battle, right? Where I try to convince Matthew to actually increase the price and say, look, some of these pieces you should sell to people who have, like, I mean, maybe not Elon Musk, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's these very, very rich people who would be happy to pay for it. You could sell a couple of those and be able to afford to not be a full-time teacher anymore. And then you have more time to work on these other pieces. That's kind of like what I'm trying to say when I tell you that stuff, on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he always turns me down because he's like, nah, yeah, I want people to be able to, I want people like me to be able to have it. I completely understand. So Kurt had some advice for you. He said, you should try using a Dremel tool or something. Your hands got to be taking a beating. Especially if you already had wrist injuries that,
Yeah, it's probably not the best, but the amount of material, because I use a die grinder for like the interior of the holes, but there are machines. I just need to get spend the money and actually get a CNC mill.
One sale to Elon Musk. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. Or whoever the dude is that founded Facebook, he works out. He's a jiu-jitsu champion. Sell him 2 things, and then now you can retire and just slowly take over the world. JB said the V-Wing is goated. It replaced so many attachments that after selling them, it was basically free. Oh, that's actually a good point. That's actually, that right there is a veteran move right there. And by the way, welcome back, JB. Congrats on the new job. Appreciate you coming and checking in and joining the stream. Yeah, he said the V-Wing is goated. I never really thought that's actually a marketing thing. You say, you can get rid of all your other stuff.
Yeah, I need to be better at just marketing in general, because like I don't like, to me it's like I want the product to speak for itself, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't, there's no marketing budget. It's just like I post on Instagram, like I post on Instagram, I made a thing.
Yeah.
Do you like?
That's his whole marketing strategy. Oh, look at this. I mean, that's good enough, because I don't get into like the minutia of different pieces or whatever as much as some people, but I still, if I'm scrolling through Instagram, I mean, heck, people see it on the show all the time. I'll be like, look at this thing I saw on Instagram, because it just looks interesting. I'm like, oh, what do y'all think about this? And so word of mouth has got to help you, because your products, not only are they unique, but they also look very unique. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Now, let's talk about something that you mentioned earlier, because you said you want to spend a little bit more time on innovation, but you also do a fair amount of, let's call it, improvement, beta testing / improving existing products and prototypes. So we're not going to talk about any like proprietary information, but how has HomeGymCon made that part of what you do possible?
I mean, one thing is like they see kind of, I mean, specifically, I'll use the TNT Hellbox as an example, just because I went to the second HomeGymCon, and that's kind of how I got introduced to Peter, and because of that, he was like whatever you want, like just let me know what you need, if you have any ideas for any specific products, and then they sent him over, and then this one was like, if I have something, I can't help myself. Like I'm going. I was talking to Matt Pendergraph a few days ago, and he's so mad at me because I'm like, did you break it? Did you like chop it up and do something? I was like, yeah, I did. It's like, and there's been times that I'll get the item and I'm like, I have to completely rebuild it, because I wanted, like, okay, how do they do this? Like, is it some of the internal mechanisms are like you can't see them, and I have to know. So I'm like, I end up like I took it apart, and I'm like, oh crap, now I got to put it back together. Or it's an item that I thought would work, but because I modified something else, I have to then modify another piece. For example, I just got in right before HomeGymCon, so I haven't had time to do the surgery on the piece just yet.
I like how you said surgery. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds aggressive.
Yeah, I gotta cut it up and re-weld it, and hopefully Patrick at Bridgebuilt won't be mad at me. But I got a piece from him. It's a the MGA, I think it's what it's called, but it's basically turns a bar into a multi-grip bar, and then you can take it off and you can use it as a rack attack, as like a lap pull down as well. But I really like the idea, but not specifically for a barbell. I wanted to do it on a Smith machine, just so because it it has the handles below the bar, so the balance point is a little off to me, at least for a regular barbell.
Okay.
But for a Smith, I'm like, oh, that means I get a regular straight bar, and then I also get all these multiple grips as well. But when I try to put it in mine, because I've modified the rack to fit in a much smaller space, it doesn't fit by about an inch.
Okay.
So I'm like, do I redo the entire setup that will prevent me from using the Smith machine for a long time, or do I just cut these brackets and then re-weld it? And I was
Okay.
like, I'm gonna cut the brackets.
Oh boy.
But like something like that, it's like it's not really going to be an improvement on his piece because like it's an issue that I did with my specific
Right.
item. But even just showing that, it's like it's that piece. Once I get it all done, it's not the use case that he made that piece for.
Yeah.
So the goal is I'm going to try to show this piece off and show it in a different light to maybe make people like, oh, maybe there's more interest now because I
Right.
can use it like this versus the way it's been advertised.
Right. Speaking of products, right? And we talked about this earlier, and I know you and I had talked about it a little about this topic a little bit. This not getting on the ground for hip thrusts thing. Okay. So you've probably already seen these videos, but I'm going to put them up just in case some people have just joined. So one is the Watson Gym Equipment standing hip thrust, which I assume you've seen.
Mhm.
That right there. And then and so I'm trying to get your thoughts. Does this solve the problem that you were well, first of all, describe the problem you're having with hip thrust on the ground, and then does this solve the problem you were having? I'm gonna let it play one more time while we're talking.
I mean, I get to try not this specific model. I'm sure this is better because it's Watson, and Watson makes some
Yeah.
amazing stuff. But I got to try the Gronk Fitness version of this.
Okay.
And the unit itself, it just takes up a lot of space. And I actually
Okay.
prefer a regular hip thrust, the feel of it. This is more convenient, like setup wise.
Okay.
Um, but my biggest complaint with like regular hip thrust is just finding a place to kind of use it, and then whenever you have to add more plates to it, you have to crawl out from underneath the bar to put more plates on, and I didn't like that. So my solution is to do it on a Smith machine. The arc or the bar path might not be ideal, but it's the regular way to do hip thrust to me is just annoying. So like with the Smith machine, the difference is I can rack it up high.
Sure.
So I'm still like on the ground to do the hip thrust, but
Yeah.
getting out of it, I don't have to kind of snake my way out from underneath the bar
Yeah,
to
I
be
got
able to do more. That's the main issue. Is like I don't want to do that, and I like to have a bigger range of motion.
you.
So I don't like having to put on. Some people use like wagon wheels and stuff like that, but then you lose some of the range of motion.
Right.
But that's kind of like mine. But the rack mounted one of this is really interesting.
So let's go ahead and look at that right now.
The brute force one. So that one like because it's more space saving. I
Yeah.
would be curious. I wish they're not coming to HomeGymCon. I thought they were.
They were, but they canceled.
Mm.
I haven't spoken with them because they were originally going to actually be at our live show, but they're not coming. So
Yeah, I mean
I don't know why.
it's a long way to. I mean, they're all in Australia. When I was in Australia, I reached
They're in
out to them to
Chicago.
try. I thought they were in.
They have a Chicago headquarters. Well, that doesn't mean that all the equipment is in Chicago, but they have a Chicago location.
Warehouse. Oh, I didn't. I wasn't.
Let me see.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I reached out to them when I went to Australia to try to go to their showroom, but their showroom was on the opposite coast. So I was like, I'm not taking a flight to go visit you from where I already was staying.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's only pulling up their stuff in Western Australia, but I know that when they were on the show, they said that they had a US location. Sean said Brute Force just dropped their 3x3 converging rack, but I know that there was like a logistics thing. And actually Naomi and I were saying that this would have been HomeGymCon would have been perfect to be able to check out this piece of equipment because she had like other questions like, does it do only hip thrusts or can you use it for other things or that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking like if you don't unlock it, I would assume you can use it for like split squats. rear foot elevated split squats or something like that. But
And potentially
who
flip
knows?
the thing up and possibly do like a Spanish squat or something like that, like if those rollers
Yeah,
can
yeah,
go
yeah,
higher.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
how easy is it to move up and down? But those are a lot of
Yeah, I
questions
said
I
it
feel
looked
like,
like a Spanish squat when I saw. I said, "Oh, that looks like a."
yeah,
That's actually what I saw, and Naomi was like, "A what?" And she's like, "Let me go
yeah,
Google
you
it."
gotta, that's one of those like, you gotta play with it a little bit. Like
Yeah,
you gotta like that's one that would be perfect for HomeGymCon just because it's like, I was like, I'm interested, but I'm not interested enough to, I mean, maybe the price point is right. Like that could change things, but it's one like it's probably expensive, but like if it solves the problem really well and it can store away easily, or they have a storing kind of a storage solution,
yeah,
and then mounting could, if it's quickly mountable and things like that,
yeah,
that could really make it where like, oh, this is a really interesting piece, especially if you really like hip thrust and you like kind of these like standing more of like an arc pattern.
yeah.
um, that could, I mean, it's way, I mean, smaller than the standalone version.
It doesn't look to me like you get full extension at the top though.
Mhm.
Like you lose a little bit. Like so you get more range of motion at the bottom. Um, but then again, I don't know how much resistance you have at the bottom of the curve.
Yeah, the one that I used
You know what I'm
at
saying?
because the one I used, the Gronk one, I went
You look
to
that
the
one up.
USF exercise like lab that they have over there. And I was able to try it, and I actually helped them try to find that piece. That's what they were looking for something. And
Okay.
it's similar to hip thrust still, like the kind of like the resistance curve, 'cause it is hardest at the very top of the movement. But I don't, the Gronk one, I do feel like, if I remember correctly, when that one, when I was using it, it's been over a year. You
Okay.
did get like because the weight is behind you,
Mm-hmm.
you do get a pretty good like squeeze at the top as well.
Okay.
And at the bottom, it does like fall off a little bit, but it's still never, the weights never get like where they're still arced a little bit, so it's
Yeah,
never
yeah,
zero, but it's like it is easier in the stretch. But that's the similar kind of
I
resist,
mean,
like kind of the resistance
yeah,
curve
that's
as a
the
hip
thing
thrust anyway.
with a normal hip thrust. There's not as much resistance at the bottom. You're basically it's almost like the same thing issue you have with a pin press, like where the something else is supporting the weight until you actually initiate the movement. So okay, all right. I was like, this is a. I didn't plan that out. I just happened to be talking about it because we were actually supposed to talk about that like 2 weeks ago. It got pushed to today, and I was like, oh, actually that works out because Matthew and I were talking about this topic, so
Yeah.
it just kind of worked out. So I didn't plan on that. So um, as an inventor, and I'll call you a tinkerer a little bit.
I
Maybe
think that's more accurate,
maybe
an
a
inventor.
solutionist. You're a solutionist. Yeah. What are you most excited about seeing at HomeGymCon? Like stuff you've kind of like seen and like, huh, I want to get a closer look at that.
um I think well, Rep One, that their digital resistance solution. Now that they're
Okay.
saying that they're official, that they're coming, I definitely want to go check that out. I think that'll be, um, I think that it's like 500 pounds is the max resistance on that thing.
Okay.
And then the other one, I'm still interested in the Dial Motion leg developer, the one that School Reps working on with them. Um, so I'm curious if they'll have price point information and things like that. Like, do they have locked in time frame? Because I think that's going to be another good one. And then Dial Motion just dropped a teaser yesterday of this pec fly like rear delt machine. Like it looks insane. So like I think they're just gonna hog all the product of the year awards moving forward every home gym con.
Okay. 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 I was always curious about that because I know like just for us, it's like, oh, I want to see that. I want to play with it. Well, I like to try that. But I'm always wondering like what goes through your mind like when you see it and like I know your brain starts working and you're like, well, how does that work? And like we were just talking about the resistance curves of different things, and it's like I just wonder how much you looking forward to it, especially since, as you mentioned, you've got a booth. You can't really just leave the booth, every
Hmm.
5 minutes. So it's like you kind of have to budget your time. So
Hmm.
it's like, well, what's important enough to him to, I guess, you know, either I guess maybe even go before HomeGymCon opens up to just go over, wander over and say, hey, I got a question or whatever. Um, what's you kind of already touched on this, but what's the toughest part about HomeGymCon for you as a brand owner?
I mean, not being able to go to the bathroom if the booth
Yeah.
is crazy, because I deal with that as a teacher all the time too. Just like you have your set schedule, and like they don't, like, as a teacher, they think you're a robot. You don't have to go eat. You don't have to go
Yeah.
to the bathroom. It's like, here's your like 8 hours that you need to work. It's like, okay, so work them.
So you're in the
Deal with that
teacher's
other stuff.
lounge trying to eat, and they're like, "What are you doing in here?"
Yeah, well, a lot of times they'll call, because I'm the one that does, like, if there's a serious behavior issue,
Okay.
where the kids are fighting, things like that. So they'll call me to go, like, kind of help like kind of break that up, and like escort the kids to the front office and things like that. So, but that there's no schedule for that stuff. The kid
No.
gets mad and they throw a fight, like they're gonna fight, and like I'm eating lunch, then they call me and I'm like, well, I got one bite of food in. Now I got to go deal with these two fifth graders that are like destroying the classroom.
So that's I don't even know what I just said. Mike said pause. What did I say? What did I say that's pause worthy? I guess you can't say it because then he'd have to say pause to you too. Thanks. I ain't mean it. My bad. So what you just said reminded me of a story though. Not a story, but it's did I tell you I used to be a bouncer? So when I was
I think we briefly may have touched on that when we've been chatting before.
yeah, so when I was that's how I paid my fee to be able to pay for training, as for martial arts, right? So it's kind of like it was paying for itself. Anyway, so I worked the door, right? At some clubs I was inside, but this one I worked the door. So you're pretty much just outside the whole time because unless you can get somebody else to work the door, which means you're taking somebody away from inside, you pretty much got to be there all night because people are going to keep on coming, right? Until it's time to, the club starts to wind down and then you can kind of go take a break. Anyway, so I had to go to the bathroom and we had been like, people were getting thrown out and we had actually gotten in a couple fights that night. And it's just, okay, I see it. All right. That makes sense now. That's hilarious. But yeah, so I'm at the point where I'm almost doing the PB dance. I was like, I cannot. I said, look, I told my boss, I was like, hey man, look, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to abandon this door because this may not want me out here, but you definitely don't want me out here like peeing on myself. So I gotta go to the bathroom, right? So I go to the bathroom, and remember, we'd already been in multiple fights that night. I go to the bathroom, walk in there, and literally while I'm peeing, two dudes get in a fight behind me. And I was like, you've got to be joking me. I was like, I said, what? I said, I've sinned. Lord, let me just go ahead and confess now because there's no way that this is actually happening. They're literally fighting literally right behind me. I was like, seriously, man? Seriously? Seriously? Anyway, the end. That's the end of that story. So let's got Jared right here. Hey, Jared. He said, happy Friday, people. Big Matt. Yeah, man. We don't have a ton of time left, but I want to talk a little bit about Caracara because we have Ryan coming up, and apparently y'all didn't plan this.
Okay? No.
I did not plan this out. But he's coming up right after your interview's done, after your segment. And that actually works out pretty well. So for people who don't really understand how that works, how y'all's relationship in terms of like how your brands work together, talk about that a little bit. How long is something on your website before it goes to his, and just talk about the entire relationship between those brands.
Yeah, so kind of, it started really was like we were kind of in competition with each other. Like he was making stuff for the Bells of Steel Tower, I was making stuff for the Bells of Steel Tower. Bell's bringing me to HomeGymCon 2 years ago kind of like boosted me a little bit, and
he was making the foot plates, right?
Yeah, making the foot plates. He was making leg holds too, but his leg holds weren't specific to the lap pull down piece. So it was more like you just got close to the tower and you kind of used the pulleys how they were. So you had to get a little lower. And he was making like fly arms. I was making.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'm gonna pull this.
Yeah, I was making fly arms as well. Just different versions of the same type of stuff. But we were very much like. We're the only two, like, we're just like, I need this for the Bells Tower. I'll make it. He'll make something for the Bells Tower. And then he would make that, or would have products that would be similar or the same.
Right.
And then the Eclipse crib, I mean, I was like making everything, and then
Okay.
because I got a little busier, I had a manufacturer, started making some stuff. I was doing like small batch runs of that. But with the cable attachments, it got so like busy, and I got like just so bogged down of like I don't have time to do anything because I'm just constantly putting these in boxes. I
Right.
reached out, and then I had a new design for the lap pull down attachment. Reached
Okay.
out to Ryan, was like, hey, I know that you make this type of stuff. I have a pretty big I feel like for like small, like a pretty big newsletter and a demand for the Bells of Steel stuff.
Right.
If we wanted to work together on making this attachment that goes on the Bells Tower, that's kind of like an upgraded version, which is
Okay.
the crane you see there on the website.
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, let's give it a go." We did a couple test runs. I sold a few, like hand make a few beforehand.
Yeah.
I had a guy that was 6'8" that wanted to have a
That's
lap
the thing
pull-out
that we bought,
attachment.
right?
No, you have the fixed version.
Okay. Okay.
So this one can adjust up and down.
Oh
So
yeah,
if
that's
you
right. That's right. That's right.
Mhm. Yeah, so the reason
Right.
that's
There you
only
go.
basically the reason this exists is the guy that reached out to me, he was 6'8", but his wife was 5 foot 5'5", I think. So
Oh
pretty
wow.
big
Okay.
difference. And then their kid was somewhere in between.
Yeah.
So like they had to have something that they could, because for him, she moves down to her height. It's impossible for it to work
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
him, and then vice versa.
Sure.
And then there wasn't, because the difference is so large, there wasn't really a middle ground that could be met that would kind of be usable. And made that, and then I reached out. Tim bought well, you have Tim's Gym Crafters
Yeah.
like lap pull down piece, because he is so tall. Same issue. Like
Yeah.
he
He
kind of
got it. It still
maxes it.
wasn't high enough for him.
Yeah, it maxes it out. So he was
Yeah.
the second person that I made the crane
Yeah.
for, just so he can like, here's a way you can do lap pull
Right.
downs for your piece. Um, and then I wasn't sure how it would do, just because it's more expensive. It is it's more versatile because of it being able to be adjustable and everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I reached out to Ryan about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, let's give it a go." And a little bit of prototyping, a little bit of tweaking here and there, and then now we've landed on a product that I mean, it sells pretty well. We need to probably do a
Yeah.
better job of like sharing it a little bit more.
Right.
But it was one was like, you're making this stuff, I'm making this stuff. I don't have time to make those things anymore. It just makes sense, like if we can kind of help each other.
Yeah.
And then move forward, because Bell's I don't they were supposed to have made something similar to this like a long time ago. They've had some issues with getting that dialed in, and or that product. I think what happened is that I was meeting the demand
Okay.
of that piece, and so instead of just taking the time and creating the piece,
Right.
they were just like, oh, like they were just sending people to me, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
but I'm like, now I don't have time to make these anymore. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
about to be a problem. They're gonna shuttle people to me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's out of stock. It's gonna stay out of stock. I don't have time.
Yeah. It's like supply. Now you're the supply chain issue. I got you.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think it's a great. It's one of those solutions that you don't think about until somebody else who's got the problem reaches out and is like, "Hey, can you do this?" Which is what I also think is really good about people who do what you do, and what Ryan does as well, is like, because you fill in like the gaps that make solutions that maybe are not cost effective for a big company to do, because they're like, in the grand scheme of things, what percentage of our customer base is facing this issue, and so you guys can come in and come up with this solution that helps out their customer base, and it's going to add to their sales, because then they're like, oh well, yeah, there's a solution for that, so this will still work for you. And I just think it just helps everybody, and obviously it helps the people out, like Sean said, talk with the tall guy problems. And I guess
Mhm.
technically it's tall guy and short wife problems. I guess it
Yeah,
could always be vice versa too.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I
there's
could have
that.
easily made a really tall fixed one too, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
been like, that's the solution.
yeah. And then his wife still can. You're like, okay, now you have to like unbolt it each time. Either one of you. Yeah, I got you. Um, Jared said, Matt helped me come up with an idea to make my lat row machine into a gripper machine. Appreciate the assistance from the mad home gym scientist. That
Oh, that was like a week ago.
that's like, that just sounds crazy. All right, I'm gonna turn your row machine into a gripper, because now my brain is like working through it. Like, wait, what? Okay, all right, I got you.
He gets access to that full, I think 300-pound stack now to do
Yikes.
grip work with.
Good Lord. Okay. Yeah, I did have to do some. Yeah. I had to do my inner Patrick Swayze had to come out. And no, Kurt, that was not the end of that story. I will tell you that story at HomeGymCon if you remind me. I'll tell you the end of the story at HomeGymCon. I will not tell it here, but it got resolved. Let's just say it like that. Anyway, let's see here. My brother has arrived. He said, "Sorry, I'm late." Hey, I'm just glad that y'all. So he thought I shouldn't put him out there like that. So he was all set to go to HomeGymCon. He was like sending me messages and texting me. He's like, "Hey, what time did y'all get up here?" And I'm like, and it wasn't really hitting me because I was at work when he was sending the messages, so it wasn't really registering to me. But he thought HomeGymCon was this week.
Okay.
So I saw it last night. It was like 11:55. I said, by the way, HomeGymCon is next week, by the way. And so he said they were he said we were packed and ready to go. He said, I'm glad you told, this is his first time attending. So he's like, I'm glad you said something. So yeah.
Just drive. Was he drive all that way?
Yeah, so he's in Tennessee. So
Oh
he'd have to
gosh.
try. Yeah, it ain't quick. Let's see here. Matt, but what are you talking about, Matt? Have you done anything with RitFit? Yeah, you have. Never mind.
Yeah, I helped them with a couple things, and they sent it over to like
I just remembered that. Yeah.
yeah. It's been a little while though. I haven't had
Okay.
there's been like 2 different items that they've sent me, and I've gotten kind of feedback, and one of them I did surgery on, and should send a video of like, this is how I solved a couple issues. Send it
Yeah.
back, and I mean hopefully that feedback was useful. I think they came up with a different version, and looks like they implemented a couple things that I was mentioning.
Nice. He said, my brother said we were ready to launch. Yeah, I saw it. He just texted me. He said we were packed and ready to go. I'm glad you said that. Oh boy, here we go. Matts and Matthews are awesome. Just saying, no bias here. I mean, okay, All right. Sean said a lot of mad scientists in the home gym world, and Matt is in that world. That's definitely the truth. I cannot believe we're already 45 minutes into this. Like, it feels like the time just flew by. Yeah. I don't want to let you go without asking you this, because you just talked about what you did for Jared, the way that the crane came about because that other guy reached out to you. What actually is the best way for somebody to reach out to you? Is it like to just message you on Instagram? I mean, email you?
I mean,
if they're a brand, for example.
Email would be the best for a brand. If it's just an individual like issue, if they just want some feedback on it, Instagram is probably the best. I can probably just a lot of times I can look at it. Sometimes if it's a little more complicated, I might have to take a phone call to kind of like, because through text message or through email, a lot of times it's hard to kind of just explain what you're wanting to have happen. So a lot of times like just talking through it can be a little easier, and kind of bouncing ideas back and forth.
Okay.
But Instagram is usually the best. If I have time, I'll do that. A lot of times, like when I was talking to Jared, I was so the V wings and the X wings, they are a unique finish. They are made of stainless steel, but then I acid etched them in ferrochloride, which darkens the stainless. And then I basically, then after you do that, you're gonna Scotch Brite the material, so it gives it like a.
I'm gonna pull this up right now while you talk about it, because my brother just asked. So he's getting into the home gym world, so he's not familiar with what you do. So he makes stuff like this, and he makes solutions for custom solutions for products, along with bigger companies and stuff. So this is the V wing you were talking about. You said that you go ahead. You're saying that you etch it or laser etch
Yeah.
it?
So basically, you put it in this like nasty acid solution. Leave it
Okay.
in there. Usually it's all like takes like 30 minutes to an hour to get the darkening effect that you want. And then
Hmm.
when you pull it out, you neutralize the acid, and then you're going to go back and basically like Scotch-Brite it to because that the darkening stuff, some of it's loose. It's not
Okay.
like adhered to the steel. So you
Okay.
basically knock that off with Scotch-Brite. So like while I was talking to Jared, I'm over there just kind of rubbing it down with Scotch-Brite, and then you finish it with linseed oil as like the finishing touch, linseed oil and beeswax, and
Gotcha.
those are blacksmith finishing. Always they would do they finishing things. It's a bringing back kind of like ancient techniques
Yeah.
to a modern world.
Yeah. For it's literally some of the best custom attachments and just equipment in general that you're ever gonna see. Because he said there's a shroud of secrecy around this dude. What does he do? He said because he came in and he's like, I thought he was talking about the because you're doing the vertical. I thought he was talking about
Mhm.
that, right? But no, he's saying like, I don't know what you do. So there you go. You got a potential customer. So like every day, I always find it encouraging whenever somebody doesn't know about Garage Gym Life, because that tells me that there's potential to add more people. There's still potential to grow if people don't know who you are and what you do. I'll
Mhm.
send you the link to I'll send you the Brian, I'll send you the link to his website so you can check it out. We got some of his stuff here at the house. It's really cool. And Sean said Matt also makes some gorgeous looking knives. That is correct. I've seen some of his work.
Yeah, it just takes I don't have time to make them anymore.
And
It's like
then
6 months to make one.
and that's along with being a full-time school teacher. So do you just try to do like most of your like projects during the summertime?
Like I mean that's one thing that's been nice with HomeGymCon being where the time it is. Besides it was probably a week too late, so it's running into like when I'm supposed to be back to work,
I was
so I
gonna
have to take
say
actually a couple days
I
off.
hate this time of year for it. I wish it was earlier in the summer.
Yeah, like what to me like 1 week earlier would have been
Yeah.
ideal. Just because like for as a teacher, it gives me the summer to work on most of it,
Hmm.
and then I still have a little bit of like a rest
Yeah.
period. I was like, I have to drive back on Saturday,
Yeah.
and then I go to work on but I'm driving from Louisville to North Carolina, sleep in my buddy lives here. That's where I'm in right where I am right now.
Okay.
Sleeping here and then driving from excuse me, North Carolina to Florida Sunday,
Right.
and then Monday I go to work. So I'm like, all right, that's a
It's rough.
long that's
That's still better
then
than the first year at Home Gym Con where you just drove straight back. I was like, this dude is a maniac.
oh the 17-hour drive.
I was like, that dude is a maniac. I was not ready for that. When you told me that, I was like, whoa, that's aggressive. Um, yeah, for us, it's kind of doesn't have anything to do with anything else. But since you brought it up, the for school, so our daughter, we're gonna actually miss the first day of school for the first time since she started school because of Home
Mhm.
Gym Con. Just because when it's when it's literally next Friday is when is their first day of school. And then we're also gonna miss like all the like the open house to find out about the school supplies and all that kind of stuff. And so my
Mhm.
mom was gonna take her. So yeah, if it had been just 1 week, well, technically, if it been 1 week earlier, that would have interfered with Naomi's triathlon, but she would have just scheduled the triathlon at a different time, so it would have been fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
right around that time where like school, it's either teachers are going back in session where like they get the non-student days, which that's the impacting me. So
yeah.
I don't have to. I mean, I can be in my office and relax a little bit for most of the time, unless we have meetings all that day. But this is the time where like you're getting your first day of school, it's the new like orientations, all that stuff. That's all happening during the like this time of year.
I got an idea. This is gonna it's gonna completely rearrange your life, but it's gonna help you. All right. It'll be painful at first, but if you just go with it,
Okay.
all right. You don't ever listen to my ideas, but I'm gonna change your life with this one. All right. So you're gonna quit being a PE teacher. That may require you to change your branding, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Instead, you're gonna become the shop teacher. And now you're gonna get all the. I know that means changing schools. That's fine. Those kids will be fine. In fact, you run into your other students, so I'm helping you reconnect with them. There you go. That's what I'm all about. Rebuilding relationships. So you go up to the high school, become the shop teacher, and then you get the students to help you with all your projects. And it's still okay because You're not using them as free labor. Instead, they're your apprentices. You're helping them learn about business. All right. So that's it. Take that idea. You don't have to pay me, and don't bother giving me credit. It's fine. Just go ahead, and especially when you're telling your wife, just go ahead and do it. Just go with it. I think that'll fix stuff. That'll fix stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, so we will be here for the first
job.
day of school. We're just gonna miss the open house. Okay. All right. What? See, my brother said I don't listen to his ideas either. I'm telling you, I would have changed the world by now. I would have changed the world by now. Y'all need to just listen to what I say. Just do what I say, and it'll work out fine. JB agrees with me though. Said if Matt was around in the older era, he would have been a legendary figure making the best crafted weapons in all the kingdom. Yes, you're an dang, I'm such a nerd about this kind of stuff too. You're an artificer. Yeah, that's what I don't know if you ever know what that is, but it's not like so a blacksmith makes a sword, right? An artificer can make a sword, but he can also make it's kind of like steampunk and stuff like that. Make good tech weapons and all kinds of other stuff. Like that's you. That's you right there. All right. So definitely I agree with that 100%. And that's also why I say what I say about the quality of your work. It's like I said the saying, it's like you're like the master swordsmith. His work costs more because it's rare. And that's literally how I feel about it. Sean said you're Hattori Hanzo. There you go. See? There you go. I'm telling you, man. But I promise you, just go with it. Do what I say. Your life will change, and you continue taking over the world, and you'll change kids' lives at the same time. Before you go, let everybody know where they can keep up with you. What booth are you going to be at HomeGymCon? Because they have to go to the booth to do the raffle, right? Or is there a different way?
Yeah, so the raffle, well, I actually need to figure out what number, because my booth is moved twice now. So I don't even know. It's the Fringe Sport.
You don't know what booth you're at?
I don't know what number.
Okay,
because they're the one that's doing the setup. I'm just going to show up where Fringe is.
We're gonna help you find yourself right now. All right.
I haven't gotten to logistics yet.
We're gonna find out right now. I got you, man. That's why you're here. Okay. I will find you. Go ahead, but go ahead. Tell people about the raffle one more time.
Yeah, so the raffle is to raise money for the American Diabetic Association. It just kind of in honor of my brother and my dad, because they both passed away over in the last 2 years of complications to diabetes. And then it's going to be 4 items that are in the raffle. And then every $5 that is donated, then is a raffle ticket. So the goal, we have 2,000 raffle tickets. The goal is to get them all sold. That'll be $10,000 raised. I am going to kind of post a link on Instagram as well. So anyone that donates that is not at HomeGymCon, it's just more of just a donation. And we appreciate every dollar we can raise for the fundraiser. But the goal is to raise as much money as possible. And I'm going to try to recruit other brands to kind of throw more goodies into the pot, just so it kind of incentivizes people to do more. As far as to find me, if you want to order some items for me at HomeGymCon right now would be the best. Do that. So we'll figure out where I'm actually at here in a second. I know I'm by the food, but and the other way would be on my website, which is porterpef.com. And then if you wanted to message me or have questions, you can email me. Or the email is on the website, or you can message me on Instagram, which is Porter_PhysEd.
Awesome. My brother said he wants to see your products, so I will make sure he gets to your booth. And he said bring at least one knife so he can look at it, because he collects knives.
Oh, I'm not home right now, so I don't have any knives right now on me.
You got pictures?
Yeah, I can show some pictures.
There you go. All right, look at this. I'm a solutionist too. All right.
Yeah, maybe Peter will bring his knife that I made him.
I never do it this way, but I'm gonna go ahead. Ryan, I hope you're ready. Don't take off any clothes, because we're gonna do this right now. Look at that. Look at that guy right there. Look at that. Y'all gonna wave hi to each other.
Man.
Look at it.
What's up, dude?
This is so awkward. They're like, hey.
Surprise.
Well, we had no idea.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't know until you threw the show notes up of like everyone on the page, like the pictures, and I'm like, oh, what's going on?
That's Ryan on the thumbnail too. That's hilarious. Oh, look at that hair. Look at that. That's a statement.
Yeah,
okay.
Been busy.
That's amazing. Okay. Well, all right, my man. Matt, appreciate you being here. And I look forward to seeing you next week.
Hey,
I'm excited to see you.
Talk to him about the hitch mount. I think it's gonna be cool.
I'm making it today for you.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right, man.
So I need to ship this out today. So
Oh,
Porter
okay.
can take it to HomeGymCon.
All right. Well,
All right,
all right.
awesome.
All right, my man. I appreciate it. You got a bunch of stuff to do, Matt. So appreciate you stopping by, and I will see you next week. Peace
All right,
out.
see you.
All right, my man. All right. So that was the legendary, the elusive Matthew Porter, and we now have Ryan from Caracara Metal and his amazing hairstyle. Let's do this right here because we need.
I haven't even looked in the mirror yet. This is the first look.
It's
Oh wow.
it's kind of like you got like a high top fade almost, but it's also that it's doing that.
There we
It's doing a
go.
little bit of that. No. I think that's you're doing good. You're doing good. Own it, man. Lean into it. Yeah, man. So first of all, thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. I know I sprung that on you, and normally I give you all the stuff, but you look like you were ready. I saw you getting ready in the backstage, and I actually had asked Matthew some questions. I don't know how much of that you heard because I know you were watching the show where he was talking about how you guys work together and the benefits of the partnership. So let's go ahead and start with your end. How is the partnership beneficial to you on your end? Because he's kind of like the mad scientist coming up with like all these ideas, and you seem to be more like a genius at like implementation. Like, okay, I can get this working. I can figure out efficient ways to get this done and move product quickly. So how does that partnership work to benefit both brands, but from your perspective?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, has so many ideas. Like constantly, he's sending me messages like, "Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Check this out.
Like,
Check
it's
that out."
3 a.m. No, I haven't.
Yeah, and so like he described it, I had made, it's kind of interesting. I had made a lat pull down extension. Like a customer wrote into me, was like, "Hey, can you make this?" And I had just posted it, and he hit me up afterwards when I like posted a story of it.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, people are thinking like you copied my design, da da da." And I was like, "No, I don't plan on adding this to my website. This is just like a custom request." And we
Okay.
kind of chatted through it, and but he was super cool about it. Like at no point were we like
Yeah.
going after each other. And through that, we just like connected more and more. So then when it came to the crane, he had shared some ideas, and I was like, "Oh, I love it." And we went through a number of iterations, and that's what I'm going to be welding on the show today is
Okay.
pieces of the crane.
Okay. It's funny because
but-
when I pulled it up on his website, but it actually is the version that's on your website too. So if people look at the crane on his website, it's the exact same. It's even got your logo, right? You know how I don't know if you can see it right there. So your logo's on the side. It's in the same place on his website as well. So it's obvious, or it should be obvious to anybody that you guys are working together.
Yeah, with Shopify, it's pretty nice. Like I can stock inventory on my website, and it just updates on his, and orders come through his website, get routed to me. I fulfill them. And yeah, so the partnership's been great. His network has exposed me to a bunch of new customers. He sells one or two of like my products too that I dreamed up, so I get extra distribution. And then we've been jamming on this hitch mount for at least a year. Like I was at my son's baseball practice, and like I see the phone ring, and it's Porter, and I'm like, "All right, here we go."
Nice.
He's
all right,
ready
guys.
to ideate.
I'm not sure if we're going to that restaurant after all. I don't know.
Well, normally at my kids' practice, I like sit in my laptop and I'll do CAD design, or I'll work on my software job, my day job. And like 50 minutes later, 60 minutes later, we're still jamming on this hitch mount. And then my son comes out, and like practice is over. I got no work done. But what we were talking about was this. So it's a 2-inch receiver. It slides into the back of your hitch.
Okay.
And then I weld this on.
Okay. Let me do this with the screen so people can see it a little better.
So it's bring your own upright. So once you have this, and there will be protective liners on the inside, and I add a gusset to the bottom. Then you can attach any upright. We've got the snowman holes. You can attach any upright.
I didn't see that. Oh wow. Okay.
And
so that's 5/8 and 1 inch. Nice.
Yeah. And then you've got your mobile gym. So like this attachment plus an upright of your choosing and a Voltra, and like you're pretty legit. So he had been pitching me on that idea. He's like, dude, I know it would crush it. Like RV owners, like the van goers, so many things.
Yeah.
And just like him, too many ideas, not enough time. But a customer reached out like 4 or 5 months ago and wanted this. And I was like, okay, like now I have someone paying to fund the development. So I built one for them, ironed out some ideas, and now going to try to do some production runs. He really wanted it for HomeGymCon, and as we'll talk about, the shop has just been in shambles. But
it's been a little bit of chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm determined to get it done today.
Oh boy.
Powder coated and shipped out to him so he can at least have it at HomeGymCon. But yeah, it's super cool. He's a great idea guy, and yeah, I like working in the shop. That's why I got into this. I like working with my hands. So
yeah,
I'm happy to crank on the same product, 100 times. I still get enjoyment out of it.
Sweet. Yeah, like now unfortunately you will not be at HomeGymCon. You told me that.
Yeah.
But it's for the best of reasons. So happy early 15th year anniversary to you and your wife.
Thank you. Yeah,
well,
I don't think
happy anniversary to you, and my condolences to her because she's dealing with you, right? Is that how it normally goes?
That wouldn't be her type of fun, just standing there watching me talk to people about
not during your anniversary. No,
Yeah.
Good decision. But yeah, that's awesome to hear. I hope you guys are going to actually take some time to just get away and celebrate instead of kind of like, there's so much stuff is always happening, all the time, when you're trying to run a business or build a business, and it gets in the way of like the small little quiet moments that are so important for you guys to have together. So I hope you guys are able to get some time next weekend to just kind of enjoy, being married, and all that. I
appreciate that.
In fact, go ahead and shout your wife out right now. How crazy would it be for you to try to build this thing if she wasn't there? For one thing, you probably would have caught yourself on fire a lot more often.
Yeah. She homeschools her kids, so we're around each other all the time. And because I have the full-time day job, like this work happens before evenings and weekends, and with the 2 kids, we're pretty busy. So she's absolutely keeps the household running,
nice.
Food on the table, raising the kids, doing the Lord's work there. So yeah, nice. Huge partner in this. Couldn't do without her. And the great thing is our dynamic with this particular business has improved, because I think I shared this last time. I fail 95% of the time. So like if on a given day, if you're going to walk by this 16 by 20 shop, there's all sorts of profanity and yelling and screaming and like parts being chucked out the door. Because there's so much messing up. And I was assembling my new CNC press brake. And this took me about 18 hours, which, for someone smarter than me, it'd probably be half that. But it was a lot of work.
Okay.
And she came by, and I kind of like heard her walking by, and I was like, oh man, if she comes in right now, I'm going to explode, because I like need to be alone.
Yeah.
And she didn't come in. And later at dinner, she's like, yeah, I thought about it, but I heard some of the frustrations you're having, and I chose to turn around.
Yeah, we'll just read the room.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, thank you, because I was at a tipping point. And she was like, but did you get it finished? I was like, yeah. So
that's all right.
Yeah, she's my rock for sure.
Heck yeah, man. You cannot, I'm telling you, I could not do what I'm doing without Naomi. Even before she ever came from behind the camera. You guys saw her. She was like one of the major sources of encouragement for me. So Matthew said, dude, your shop looks amazing with all the upgrades. And I'm going to come back to Sean's comments in a second, but JB said, Ryan's great to work with. He sent him white powder. Whoa, what? White powder. And he used it to coat his version 1 foot plate last year. Months later, I got his weighted vest hanger, and he was able to use the leftover to powder coat that too. Oh, nice. Okay. All right.
Yeah, JB was cool.
Breaking Bad.
He like figured out which the color tone that I think Rep or Rogue, one of them, I think it was Rep, uses, and found that powder, and then ordered it and sent it to me. So I just had to open it up and spray it on. So
nice. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about your new equipment. You just talked about you got a CNC laser, you get the CNC press brake. You already talked about the frustration, but how are they helping you before we get into this and do the welding and all that stuff?
Yeah, so over here is my CNC plasma, and 5 years ago, I would just cut everything, drill everything by hand, and every part was different. And so eventually I upgraded to the CNC plasma, which, absolutely changed the way I produce products. And I still use it today. I'm going to keep it. It's been amazing. But with plasmas, the cuts, they're just not super accurate. And people smarter than me, like Dean at Black Widow, he clearly has his machines dialed in because his is top notch. I just haven't had the time, or I haven't invested the time or the brain power to dial mine in. So like I have parts that I cut them on the plasma, and it's repeatable cuts, but they're each a little different.
Okay.
With plasma, there's a bevel, so the cut starts on the top and it gets smaller as it goes down. So there's just like a ton of cleanup work when you're using the plasma. Where now with the laser, this behind me, and it's smaller, it's 2x2, but most of my parts can fit in that framework. There's next to no bevel, and the parts are just gorgeous. So
that's gotta save a ton of time.
Yeah, just the lack of cleanup, the fewer mistakes. Man, I still make a ton. It's just absolutely increased the productivity and kind of open doors to new products, because I love it, but like the home gym community like expects like precision and perfection. There's like a little wobble here, a little wobble there. Yeah. And it's so hard to get the tolerances right. Like Mario at 4-6 Fitness showed how on his upright, like the widths were different as you went up and down the upright, just due to the amount of powder that had been applied to that upright. So getting the tolerances right is really hard. So having like a precision laser, and we can talk about the press brake, has just really helped improve that process. Okay. But all of these machines, like they're expensive, but they're still entry level compared to like what the Rogues and the Reps use. So what you gain in savings, you lose in time. So like the CNC press brake, 300 parts. And like I said, 18 hours to assemble. Plasma, similar. The laser, a little more turnkey, but there's like still some nuance to doing that. So these machines show up, and that's like day zero, So I finished this 2 days ago, and I got it in May.
Oh wow.
And
yikes.
The same story. Yeah.
Wow.
And I actually just finished setting up a new air compressor because I blew up my old one. So it wasn't quite a fire, but it was a minor explosion. So
okay.
Yeah, had to get.
I love that you're saying that as you get ready to weld on here.
Yeah, I know. I was like making sure, like, how can I not mess this up?
I love that you showed up in shorts, so that's exciting right there. But yeah,
it's 100 in Texas.
Matthew said that kerf angle, whatever that is, can be super frustrating. I know you know what that is, but I just want to make sure I said that for you. And so so now here we go. My brother said, "Enjoy your wife, brother." And then Colonial Barbell Club. Sean said, "Catching fire welding is like trying to stay dry in the rain because the fire and sparks have a knack for catching you." I say all that to say he's about to weld right in front of us. But he also said that Rogue has more resources and a bigger machine, and they're not perfect. He said he's found cutting and welding defects on Rogue products. So I think it's one of those things, man. It's like obviously your work is good. We've seen it. We're fans of it. That's why, just a little bit of a sneak preview for people who are going to be checking out the Shopify store reveal for us tomorrow. Caracara Metal is one of the brands that's in our Shopify store. So, because we are fans, we've definitely
including me.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, so the products that we have, I mean, they've stood the test of time. They're durable. They meet you meet one of the most important requirements, which is treat people right. You were explaining to me when you came on the show, if you make a mistake, you fix it, and that's really all you can expect out of somebody, especially a small operator, one person shop operator. It's like, look, we live in an imperfect world. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't expect perfection. I just want you to make it right when you find out that there's a mistake, you know what I mean? And that's what you do. So that was actually the most influential thing as far as us reaching out and saying, hey man, let's put you in our Shopify store and let people know more about you, because it really isn't it's not, this is kind of like off on a tangent a little bit, but it's not so much for me about, oh, well, we got a popular brand that we can put in, you know, that people really like. It's more about letting people find out about a brand that's doing things right, that can give them the products they need, that are solutions for the problems they're having. And if something goes wrong, that brand's going to take care of them. And that's just really what it is.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's see. Letha from Alabama says, happy anniversary. Matthew said, if you're welding in shorts and Crocs, are you a welder? I mean, doesn't seem safe. But you know, what do I know? Then JB said that powder coating inconsistency is super true. Me 3D printing shims for tight attachment tolerance made some hole settings unusable on racks. That's why my front uprights are now stainless. All right, look, we're not going to bury the lead anymore. You already told us what you're welding, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do the solo screen for you so that people can kind of see what you're doing, and you can just talk us through it. And,
yeah, we'll talk about what I'm doing.
Where's the fire extinguisher?
You know, it's outside the shop. Another thing that changed was I chose to get the shop spray foamed. Because last year it hit 120 degrees in here. Plus, once you add in the welding,
yeah,
I was just getting crushed. So had it spray foamed, and then we had to cover the walls because that's flammable. And when you spray foam, you have to move everything out. So everything's outside the shop. And I've like slowly been moving stuff in while trying to assemble new equipment, and just a total cluster. But I haven't moved the fire extinguisher back in. So, but we should be good. We should be good.
Oh, we'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, I'll be fine, but okay. All right, let's go. All right, talk us through what you're doing, because I think this is a great opportunity for people to see what goes into the product. So go ahead and just share whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Cool. Yeah, I love sharing. Like, there's so many people making gym equipment out there. Like, I don't have anything to hide. So that's what I like to do with my Instagram, is just show how I make products, generally just because I enjoy the process and I want to share it with others. So the crane is 2 separate tubes that connect together with a bracket. So I'm working on the articulating part of the crane. So I've laser cut, I think this is, 2.5 inch tube.
So hold on. So you're working on,
that part.
I'm just showing people right there so everybody can see this right here. This is the part that you're working on right there.
Okay. Yeah, and I actually need to send new photos because I've updated the bracket, which we'll talk about. So it's got laser cut holes and then these slots, and these brackets interface with these. It's called a tab and slot design, and just makes fit up a little faster, and it ensures that each part is the same. So the difference between these brackets and those are 4 independent ones, and that just created the opportunity for like things to be out of alignment. So I'd welded up a bunch, and I sent Porter the design, and I was like, hey, what do you think of doing like 2 single brackets? He's like, I love it, let's do it. So that's what we're looking at today. So this one I've rigged up, and I just have, the bearing of a pulley in this one, and I never removed the pulley off this bearing just out of laziness. So I put it together and I square it up, and then I'm going to tack it in place. So when you weld, you place little weld tacks, and then you check it and you make sure things are square before you fully weld it out. Because, and by the way, like, self-taught, 6 years doing this, don't take this as advice. This is just my experience. But once you weld things out, you've kind of reached the point of no return. So you generally want to tack things in place and test that out. And you'll see some of the other equipment manufacturers, when they're sharing early ideas, you'll just see these little weld tacks. It's because, like, hey, they don't want to take the time to fully weld this thing out if it's not going to work, or if there's an alignment going to be off. So I'll get ready to tack this together. I'm going to turn on my welder. And we'll make sure it's not too loud.
I'm going to say, how loud is this going to be? Because you may not be able to talk during it, but that's okay. Because I think
I was hoping I would be able to.
We'll see.
So I'll put on my
sleeves. But I think it'll still be interesting to watch. So you can ask questions, whatever.
So the UV light from welding will burn your skin. I've got sunburn before, so I have a welding coat that sometimes I wear, but it's too hot. So
Yeah, we're not wearing
these
that.
sleeves, as
Yeah, we
silly
ain't
as
wearing
they
that
look,
coat. It'd be all right. It'd be fine.
they do protect. And
Okay.
sparks fly, so put on
All
some
right.
eye protection.
Yeah.
Get my gloves. And every time you weld, when you finish welding, you can't really see it, but it leaves a little BB on that end of your welding wire. So I try to remember to clip off that BB before I start.
Okay.
Remove the hitch mount out of the way, and yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay.
So just gonna put a little tack.
You put them on each corner, basically. All right.
And make sure it's good to go. Looks good. Bearing spin. And then I'll move on to the next one. So there's
Okay.
probably like faster ways to do this. But generally you'll tack all your stuff in one pass, and then you'll go through the second time and fully weld it out.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, it's almost like you turn yourself into a one-person assembly line. Like, all right, I'm gonna do all of these, then come back around and do it. It's kind of like so when I was doing line work, and my brother does this, he they basically say you use the tool for as many things as you can with that tool before you switch to the next tool or the next task. So that makes 100% sense.
But for this one, I'll tack it, and then I'll do some full welds just to keep it in place. That one I clearly didn't tack. I need to tack again.
All right. So we've already got some good comments here. JB said, "Hi, Sean, this part of the show is for you. Who knew we'd all be geeking out watching somebody weld on a Friday morning? Hey, that's what you come to this show for." All right, let's go ahead and expand that out a little bit. You know, that's it. But I'll keep on responding to your comments. So if you guys have questions, by the way, go ahead and put them in there. My wife just shared 6 gems. I have no idea what gems do, but now I finally have. This is the first gems we've gotten, so we're gonna find out. Sean said this keeps from warping. Hey, what's up, Brandon? Welcome back to America. I guess you've been back for a little bit, but Basement Brandon's here. He said, "Good morning, gents. What's up, man? We're just watching Ryan weld some stuff." And you just tack welding still, right? Ryan, you still tack welding stuff?
Yeah, so I just welded out one side.
Okay.
So you also want to like spread around the heat. So I fully welded this side, and now I'm going to come like completely diagonal to the other side.
Okay.
Just so that there's not too much heat on one side and create distortion.
Nice. Hey, appreciate that super chat. Basement Brandon, $5 super chat, said Friday dues paid. My man, thank you so much, man. Brandon is one of the most supportive people for real of our channel, and I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. All right, as you're doing that, what are the things that you're looking for people who aren't Sean and JB and you? And as far as like, what are the things you're looking for? Because I see you checking everything. What are the things you're looking for? Like, okay, that's a good weld, that's a bad one.
Yeah, so while I'm welding, there's this concept of the puddle. So it's the weld pulling up, and you're watching the puddle to make sure that it's fully penetrating the metal before you like continue forward. And then afterwards, I'm just trying to look and see how pretty or ugly the welds are.
Okay.
But yeah, while I'm welding, I'll drag. So I point the torch this way and I drag it forward. And then I'm just watching the puddle. And I like to make, like some people call it stacking dimes. Like, so I'll make these cursive E's, and that's how you get those dime looking weld beads. If you go too fast, then you don't get the the dimes, which is actually happening because I'm welding while doing a live and
Okay.
not fully focused.
So
So
is
I've
it
got
easier for you if I don't talk to you while you're welding and I just wait till you take a
when
break?
I'm
and
doing
then
the
ask a
long
question?
welds, I actually can't hear you. I could only hear when I was talking. So I'll weld out this last side and then we'll
Okay. Yeah, we
pause
can ask
for a
more
minute.
questions. All right, cool.
I'll see
Go
if I
ahead.
can
No, go
get
ahead.
some dimes here.
I feel like David Attenborough. Ryan is attempting to get dimes on his welds. While you guys are watching, I know for a fact that this is the only live stream that's doing a live welding, especially of home gym equipment. So do me a favor and hit like and subscribe. And let people know that you were able to check this out on the show.
So there it is. So from here, I'll take a grinding wheel, like on an angle grinder, and remove any little weld BBs and kind of clean it up before you get it prepped for powder. And one of the cool things, this CNC laser cutter is also a laser welder.
Okay.
Which I haven't started using yet, been too busy, but I'm going to transition a lot of my welding to laser welding. And the beauty of laser welding is there's very little spatter, very little like dust on the parts. It's a much finer bead. So there's just like an order of magnitude less cleanup,
Nice.
which is just so nice. So I thought I could try to tack Porter's hitch mounts together too while we're here.
Before you do that, we got a question from Sean. He said, what kind of mix are you using? Is it a 95-5 argon CO2?
C25.
C25. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Sean.
And the laser welder runs on not on oxygen, on just 100% argon. So that'll be cool. So I have the CNC laser cut and bent bracket. The holes have already been tapped for the liners. And basically, I got to get the orientation right. Porter would be very happy. So it's going to go into the hitch like this. So I need a way to secure it in place. And the reason we did this design is it's going to sit in this hole, and that'll increase the strength versus if I were to just sit it on top, it's not nearly as strong. So it's actually going to sit in there. And then, like I said, there'll be a gusset on the bottom, which you don't really need, but we just add just to make sure. But
that's
I
actually
have
something. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, so what you just said about putting it down into the hole, that's actually something that so back in 97, 98, I worked at a public gym and we had a run of dumbbells come in that were sorry China, but they were dumbbells from China, and they were welded instead of being drilled down into the hole and then you weld it together. Instead, it was just like basically attached on the surface, like you just said, and so we had a bunch of dumbbell handles break.
Yeah,
the heads were just breaking off on them, and that's where that story came from. When I was saying that, I've said it multiple times, where a guy was doing dumbbell pullovers and the 70-pound dumbbell broke and half of it fell on his face.
Oh my goodness.
Because that's partially self-inflicted because he had been dropping the dumbbells and I told him not to, but oh well. Anyway, but yeah, that's where that problem came from. And so we switched to a different dumbbell manufacturer after that. So that's actually the first time I've ever been able to, like, for people to see what I'm talking about, though, when you just demonstrated that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. Yeah, and that's like the benefit of like the tab and slot design saves a ton of time and ensures repeatability, but also the piece is then just stronger. So I just have some shims here. They're machine shims. And I'm going to place it like that and get my orientation right. And then we'll make sure we're square. And you can this is a fixture table. So I have a ton of fixtures that use these 5/8 inch holes. And you can lock your pieces in place, which you really need to do when you're fully welding out stuff. Otherwise it moves and distorts. But when you're tacking, you can kind of get away with holding it. So looks like it's going to be good enough for Porter.
All right.
We'll get that weld BB off there, and then we'll just tack it.
Okay.
And yeah, so from here, I would then probably clamp it in these places and then fully weld around. And because of like the stress, you know, if you think about this has to hold it upright, and someone may put like a 96-inch upright or something like that on it, or even bigger, I'll crank the welder up even hotter and make sure I get like really good penetration so that the heat really penetrates the metal well. But when you do that, you're going to get distortion. So that's where the fixture table comes in. You clamp it in place and you try to control that distortion the best you can. But what's funny is like, it doesn't look like that much work, but the amount of iterations it took to get here, even just to get the tolerances right so that you could fit, you know, plastic liners on the inside on all three sides, tapping in the holes, like it just takes so much. So
we have another comment. First of all, shout out to Rex, who's just joined the show. He said, I've always liked watching a craftsman at work. This show goes to show what goes into premium equipment. Glad you're showing this. Is especially amazing to someone like me who is unskilled. I think that's a big deal, man, because your customers don't really see this, which is why I was so excited when you said you wanted to do it, because like you don't see like what goes into making the stuff, which kind of shows like, but this is why it costs what it costs. You know, like your materials cost money, your time costs money. Because while you're working on this, you can't really be working on somebody else's product. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a little bit of an opportunity cost. You know.
Yeah.
Sean wants to know if you have any messed up welds saved, or could you have some at some point? Like he's basically like a video idea to just show some bad welds so people can see what an example of a bad weld is. Because I also know that sometimes, like we've done enough power rack reviews, or like we get a power rack and we're like, ooh, that's a bad weld. But some people may not know what a bad weld is, and so they don't really know what to look for when to even know if a piece of equipment is safe to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you have any messed up welds, maybe outside the door where you threw them or something? I was paying attention when you said you throw stuff. He said
I throw
things
stuff all the time. Yeah. I have a bunch of messed up parts that I bent, but I bent them. You know, I used to manually bend my parts on my press brake there. And so these like aren't perfectly square. So this had been CNC plasma cut, drilled and tapped these holes.
Okay.
And then the final step is bending. And we talked about this last time on the show.
Yeah.
And I overbent it. So I had plenty of those mistakes. So these will be the next ones to get tossed out. But I don't think I have any bad welds laying around, not because I don't do them. I do them all the time, but I generally try to discard them as fast as possible. But one of the most common comments I'll get whenever I post welding stuff is people are like, oh, you're running it too cold. And that means like the weld is supposed to almost like cave in like that, because that means you're fully penetrating the metal. And if it's more of like this shape, like a rounded shape, then you don't have the machine cranked up high enough. And they say you're not getting good enough penetration. Yeah. And a lot of times it's because like for me, and I'm by no means an expert, the higher my machine is cranked, like the higher the volts are for welding, the more spatter, the more like weld BBs, the more mess it creates. So I'm always trying to find that balance of like hot enough to ensure good penetration and like a strong weld, but not so hot that then I have to spend, like Porter was saying, like hours with the die grinder or hours with the angle grinder trying to like clean up all the splatter that happens, which is why, once again, I'm so excited about using the laser welder, because there's like next to none of that. But the one downside with the laser welder is it doesn't create like this weld pool like MIG welding does.
Okay.
So if you have fitment where like there's gaps, like with this, I can just fill it with weld. But with a laser welder, that's not how they work. You can't really fill gaps like that. So I'll still have to use both.
Okay.
But it'll be nice to do some of this equipment building with the laser welder.
Sean wants to know if you would DM him some pictures of defects before you throw them away. He just wants. He's a welder,
sure.
so he wants to see it.
Yeah.
Well, he's a welder, so
many.
he wants to see it. And then let me scroll back up to the top. We got some more comments, so I'm trying not to slow you down.
I know I'm gonna pause for now just because I'm not happy with the lack of prettiness of some of those welds.
You doing okay? You don't. They look great to me. What do I know? So
yeah, powder
Rex
coat
said,
hides a lot.
Rex said that Sean, because Sean is doing like some commentary in the chat right now.
Oh, nice.
He says Sean is asking questions that make me understand how much I do not know. And so one of the comments from Sean is like, he says that you're using a gas process of welding called MIG or GMAW.
Yeah, MIG welding. Yeah.
And then he says the gas creates a protective pocket that keeps oxygen out of the weld. Otherwise, oxygen will get in and create porosity, which will vastly weaken the strength of the weld. Makes it look like a beehive. Matthew said he agreed with what you were saying when you were talking about how like you have to kind of plan ahead for how much weight or load that will hold. And he said, yeah, you never know how people are going to use the equipment. So you have to kind of like, I don't want to say, you kind of have to like disaster proof it a little bit as much as you can. Because somebody's going to use it wrong. You know, somebody out there is going to use it wrong.
Yeah, I've had a couple customers send me a photo and it'll be like of a bent part. And I'm like, all right, I'll send you a new one. Like, I'll fabricate whatever it is and send it out. And then like, I'll be talking to the wife and I'll be like, how the heck do you think they bent that? Because all the stuff I make, I use in my own gym.
Yeah.
So I often wonder, like, was that being used in the way it was intended to be used?
Yeah, the way I very clearly showed on the in my pictures on my website. Yeah, I got you.
And that hurts, like. Yeah. When you have to send out a new product, you're just like, all right, there goes profit for a product, mail costs, this.
Yeah, I mean, steel cost, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. But to your point, like, this is a really tight knit community. And I want to provide a good product. Like, I'd be so bummed if something I bought, it doesn't perform well. So, I've had like shipping to Canada.
Ooh.
I forget what I just recently shipped. I think it was like an older version of the crane, and somehow the person bent it. And I was like, "Hey, I'll send you a new one."
That's
but,
insane.
Like, that hurt. That hurt. Like,
oh yeah, we're in a tariff war too right now.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Getting it through customs, I was like, "Oh, this
murderous.
This is painful." But gotta do it right for the customer, so that's fine.
Sean wants to know what wire you're using. He said, "Is it 70S2?"
The wire I'm using is 030, which I actually just bought a spool of 035, and I'm going to switch over to that, like a slightly thicker wire that handles the higher amperage a little better and should lead to less spatter. So, but yeah, I use 030 wire, but going to switch to 035 here shortly. Just need to finish this current spool. But yeah, always learning, like always. The good thing about social media is like the amount of unsolicited feedback you get.
Yeah, there's always an expert.
There's so many experts.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thanks.
Like,
thanks, bro.
Someone commented on like a post and was like, "Yeah, I just don't find myself ever using a piece of equipment like this."
Okay.
And I was like, okay,
and why are
great.
you commenting? Like, why are you even watching? Like, go watch someone else. Go look at something else. I'm like, I don't understand that.
Someone did order this, so I'm not just making it and like throwing it out the door.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Because like you get so much. What always trips me out is like, I don't want to say I know who the person was who made this comment. I'm not going to say their name because they're cool, and I know it's like everybody does it, right? At some point, you say a thing, and you're like, "Ooh, that's too late." I would have deleted the comment once I realized what I just did. So Jen Thompson, multi-world champion Jen Thompson, she was talking about deadlifting, no, she was talking about static holds and pin presses, right? And again, multi-time world powerlifting champion. And this guy was like, he said, yeah, just be careful because, you know, I hurt my shoulder when I was doing something similar and it's taking me this long to recover. I'm like, you know, you're just a dude who's like working out for fun, basically. She's a multiple time world champion. So it's like, you got to kind of like take it with a grain of salt when somebody, you know, they don't know what they're talking about, but that in no way hinders them from giving you advice. That's the first thing, right? And you just like, all right, man, whatever. So that's hilarious.
It's too easy.
My brother said, I would rather buy from a dude like this over a major brand anytime. Look at the attention to detail. And I think this is actually a big deal, man, what you're doing, because like you're not satisfied with it, but to us, it gives us a warm and fuzzy because we're like, well, at least he cares. Like something I wouldn't even notice. He's going to take the time to correct even that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just makes me feel better about it. And Matthew Porter said, this is great seeing this. People just don't understand what goes into it. And I 100% agree. Rex said, when you buy something from people like Porter and Caracara, it may cost a bit more, but you know it'll be something you can pass on down to your grandkids. 100% agree.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely try to make them withstand the test of time.
Yeah. And we got a couple more comments, and then we'll see if you're in a good space to go back to work. He said, Sean said, depending on the type of wire will depend on the strength of the weld.
Yeah.
And that's because it can handle more amperage.
Yeah,
so
I can pump more heat into 035 wire and have less spatter. Like I could crank up the heat on this and blow right through the metal, or keep it really hot and make it really strong. But for me personally, like the welds just get messier the higher I crank my machine, which could be my machine, could be user error, could be other things. So yeah, switching to the 035 wire should help with that. And just getting better at welding, more reps. I mean, a lot of it like prep matters. So this metal, it's not like it's not silver, it's got this like gray tone to it.
Yeah.
And that's called mill scale. And that's applied, at the mill. They leave on this mill scale, and that prevents rust. And for MIG welding, you can like MIG weld right through it. It's fine. But if I were to like do something like TIG welding, you have to get all of that off. You have to clean it off. And there's ways of doing that, but they take time. But to TIG weld, you have to have really clean material. So I would probably have like a cleaner weld if I even removed the mill scale off the metal, even with MIG welding. But then you're just getting to the point of like, you start to just hemorrhage money, the more and more time you put into a given part. We talked about this last time, but like custom work for me is a blessing and a curse. I spent probably, including like ruminating on the idea, like close to 20 hours on this one custom part for a customer. So I just posted this to my Instagram, and I don't have the liners, so it's not going to be as cool. But so this will insert into the Rogues like Man Array bench. And then it's got these holes here, and it's going to be an adjustable knee pad. So there's a pop pin
for like pull downs and stuff to hold you down.
Yeah, for pull downs. So figuring out this mechanism, the telescoping mechanism, just took so much time, because when square tubing's made, it's actually like folded and there's a seam inside every tube. So it makes it really hard to make telescopic pieces, because you're running into like this weld seam on the inside of the tube, which you can't see. So figuring out how to like navigate around that weld seam, and then figuring out the tolerances so that it can slide well and hopefully not scratch off the protective liner. So I made my own bushings. And these are some older prototypes. but these
Okay.
will go inside the tube like this
Okay.
from both ends. And that's how it's going to slide or telescope up
Right.
and down on the piece without
Friction and
removing the powder coat, and then
Yeah.
you know, getting the tolerances right. But just to like get to that state took so much time. And once again, this is me. Like Porter probably does it in half the amount of time. Dean just does this stuff on the fly. Like he's an absolute wizard. But you know, that's a custom order that I probably charged a couple $100 for. And at this point, like even if my time was, you know, $10 an hour,
Yeah.
like,
You're already
I've lost my
behind.
shirt on it.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot, and I got to make a cool Instagram video out of it. And it's definitely something I want to bring into some of my other products. So it is time well spent. But like when you've got a backlog of orders, or like my
Right.
website has no inventory right now because the shop has been down and all these things, the custom orders are both a blessing and the curse. So
All right, couple more comments. So Sean said, depending on the type of wire will depend on the strength of the weld. Matthew said, when we're talking about damage to your part, he said it may also depend on what the shipping company did to bend it. Because you know, especially if you say like if they think it's weights and fitness equipment, like in their mind, oh, that means I can throw it. Yeah, it's tough. It can handle it. Like, well, actually, no, don't do that, right? So yeah, and then Sean said most carbon steel wire will take 60 to 70,000 psi of force, depending on the wire. I put this right here. What do you? I think I asked you this when it came just to in general stuff you work on, and I think your answer at the time was the low row foot plates. What now that things have changed a little bit more, you know, as far as your process, you've got different resources and tools. What do you enjoy working on the most? I know that it can be frustrating, but which pieces are the ones that you're like, man, I actually enjoy doing that part?
Yeah, I would say any brackets like these hitch mounts.
Okay.
Like for me, welding was really cool. And then I cut something on the CNC plasma and I was like, that's next level.
Okay.
Then when I started bending metal manually, I was like, that's neat. But the CNC press brake, like I spend hours and hours and hours in CAD designing a part, and then I program it in on this machine, and then I just hit a foot pedal, insert it in, the punch comes down, bends it, punch goes back up, this digital or this back gauge adjusts, I rotate it, stick it in, it hits the back gauge, the punch comes down and it bends it again, and then it's done. Like it's bending metal for me is just absolute, you know, joy and happiness. Like it's just so cool to me. So any of my parts from making brackets like this and getting to use the CNC press brake has become my new favorite. Also, there's like no cleanup, you know, I'm not then getting out the grinding wheel and or the die grinder and stuff like that. So yeah, I think as I continue to ideate on ideas, I'm really going to try to bring in bending and ultimately like try to reduce the amount of welding, just because, you know, there's less cleanup there, less chance for fire, like all those things. So
Matthew said removing those weld seams can take forever. Said a bushing is a much better idea. My brother said every craftsman has their own style, 100%. It's almost like your signature. Like you could tell like a piece that was made by this person versus somebody else, because everybody's got like, I mean, you might be right-handed, he might be left-handed, and even that affects, you know, like the direction, how your welds look.
Yeah, like if you look at Mario 46 Fitness, like that guy lays down some beautiful dimes. Like whenever he posts some of his stuff, like his most recent, like those 90-degree brackets, which are becoming really popular. He's got some, like you see a bunch of his dimes, his MIG welds on those, and they're awesome. Like I love seeing that type of stuff.
I actually love the fact that he's starting to get a little bit more love in the community. because he had a rough start. But I think I was like, hey man, you'll get through it once people just kind of like get to know who you are and see your heart, because before I ever let him come on the show, like we had some conversations. I was like, you know what, man, this is all right, dude. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's an hour away from me. I actually haven't been to his shop. Yeah. I've been planning to go. He's got a tube laser. So like all these pieces were cut on a tube laser that I outsourced to. But Mario has a tube laser, so it rotates and the laser will cut it. So I have a bunch of square tubing that I'm going to take out to his shop, and he's going to cut it, and we're just going to talk shop and hang out. He's a good dude, and like he's a one-man show, and he got a press brake, a laser, a tube laser, did the electrical himself, set it up himself. Yeah, he's powder coating himself. Like, once again, like you just got to appreciate the effort, the drive, the attitude to get stuff done.
And I mean, I think he has a different perspective too, because he comes from the automotive industry. Yeah, in terms of that background, so like how he approaches problem solving. So Matthew said you should talk about your content. You've been blowing up on Instagram, and fortunately I am prepared for that because I have already pulled up your Instagram. So that's where we're headed next. Right here. This is where you made a box, a metal box.
Oh my goodness. Never again.
Talk me through this metal box that you said was a problem. Again. Okay, so what was so hard?
The guy who put in our fence, he saw that I had the CNC. He's like, oh, could you cut out like some monograms that I could put on some gates? I'm like, yeah, totally. So we started working together, and he hit me up the one day and he's like, hey, someone wants a parcel box, because they have a gated entrance. And when Amazon delivers, they just leave them at the gate. He's like, can you make a box? I'm like, yeah, I can make a box.
How hard can it be? Okay.
How hard could it be? But even just like when you put the four sides together, do you put like two of the sides on the inside of the box, or do they go on the outside? Like, those measurements matter. And then you weld this thing out, and so much heat is going into it. There's no way to not have distortion. So this was actually the second version. The first version I made, they wanted their house numbers on the front. And what I did was I plug welded the house numbers from the inside, so that on the front you would just see the numbers. You won't see any welds. They're welded from the back side. And I clamped this thing to the table, and I was like plug welding in various places, but it was a lot of welds. And when you have the hood down, you can't really see anything that's going on. And I was taking breaks and moving around, trying to distribute the heat. And I lift the hood up, and the thing's just completely distorted, completely crooked.
Oh God.
And when that point happens, you have a decision. Like, do I try to salvage this
and just start over,
or do I just cut my losses? And at that point, it was a lot of metal. Like, it was a 24-inch by 24-inch sheet of metal. Plus the numbers I had cut out. I'm like, I'm going to try to salvage this. So like 3 hours later, that thing gets chucked out the 6x6 door.
Out the door,
out the door, and started fresh, and ultimately just went with like a different design in version 2. But it was like so much work, and then painting it. And I delivered it, and it's this older couple, and they're really happy with it. And then like 3 days later, and they wanted it gloss black. She's like, yeah, it's really hot. Like, in the Texas sun, like, we can't open it now. Like, can you come add a handle? And I'm like, yeah, I'll figure something out.
Yeah. But
it's like one of those never ending projects that I would never make. Cause I'd made planners before, like planner boxes, but having a lid on hinges that needs to have tolerances, and frankly, it needs to be watertight, man, that just expanded the scope of the project. So
because when y'all get rain, y'all get rain.
Yeah, it's been wild. Yeah, like that's where Mario lives, is where all the flooding is. He's in Kerrville, and that's where the majority of the flooding is. It's crazy.
Sean said Mario is one of, so we have like the right here, it shows the dichotomy. Sean said that Mario is one of his favorite craftsmen, and Eric is like, nah, he's not getting love from me. Hey, it is what it is. It is
It
what
is
it
what
is.
it is.
Let's talk about something. So this is like your sign. I'm assuming you made your own metal sign. So was that
Yeah.
a little bit less painful? I'll do the Instagram video. That way people can kind of see it a little bit up close. So this is what went into making your sign. Was that a
So,
little less painful?
yeah. So you see all the rust on the back? I
Yeah.
cut that in November of 2025
Okay.
and just finished it last month.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's like,
The
I need
rust
a
looks
shop.
cool though. Actually, I
Yeah.
think the rust looks cool.
Yeah. I wanted to do clear grind, because it's kind of like clear grind outside of the gym community is not really like well known and understood.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, like I do other things, but I
Sweet.
mostly do gym equipment. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a clear grind finish on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was actually straightforward. So like first time success on the CNC. Like when you
You got
cut
the LED
on
on there too. That's also a
yeah,
little bit of a sneaky touch.
when you cut on the CNC, like things can go wrong. And that was like a 5-minute cut. I sped it up, but
Yeah.
like sometimes you're on the very last hole and it misfires or something
Oh
like that, and
man.
then you got to try to save it. But that worked first time, and then yeah, I just grinded it, hit it with clear coat, and then this is my first time doing LEDs,
Nice.
and yeah, that one actually worked out. Mounting it to the wall was a different story because I bought standoffs that weren't strong enough and had to get new
Oh boy.
ones. But yeah, the Instagram, it's kind of crazy. Like I have a particular editing style that seems to resonate.
I like
It's
it
like
because it's sped up, but it's like I can see the whole thing, like this thing with the articulating low row foot plates.
yeah,
Like
that was
I
the
like
one
that.
where the dude was like, I wouldn't have a use for it. And I'm like, well, the guy that ordered it does. So like cut
Yeah.
me a break, man.
Like
He
I
wants to
said,
do
it's just
step
like,
ups.
yeah, it's like okay, like I
Yeah, I've
don't
gained like 9,000 followers in a couple months, which has been fun. Like you get to a certain point and then like brands will start to contact you.
yeah.
Um,
Hey, can you do this
so
for us? Hey, can you do I like that,
yeah,
yeah.
like I have 2 welders, excuse me, and 2 plasma cutters that are sitting outside under the lean-to that I need to
Yeah.
do video reviews on because the companies were like,
Oh, well, that's what you
um,
mean. But oh yeah, I didn't even think about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
The one was funny. Like when I first got into welding, I started creating some videos, and I had no followers, and I reached out to a welding company and was like, "Hey, like I'm a new
Yeah.
guy, but I'm creating content. Are you interested?" Um, and I'm like, "Yeah, you basically need to have more followers."
Yeah.
It's like a month ago, I have a message in my
And it's from them.
Instagram DMs, and it's from them.
Yeah.
And like the message above was them saying like no, and then the follow on message is like, we followed your journey. We like really appreciate the stuff you're doing. Like, can we send you
Yeah.
this new MIG welder? So I've got to get a review out on that. But that's been kind of cool. Like as the Instagram following has grown to like
Yeah.
get those opportunities.
At least it kind of looked like it's like there's some continuity because sometimes we get stuff where it's like no, most of the time it's from me asking people to come on the show and they'll say no, right? For whatever reason, right? And then then somebody else takes over and they come in and they put a DM in Instagram and like I'm like, did you even read the previous message? Because what
Yeah.
you said makes no sense. And it makes sense if this is my first time ever talking to you. It doesn't make sense based on the last thing, and I don't know that you're a new person. You know what I mean? I
Yep.
just think it's hilarious. My brother wants to know if you make more signs.
Yeah, I've got to make 2 for a neighbor. And the wife wants an address sign. I actually cut it. It's
Yeah,
laying
you need to do that.
outside, but I need to put it on a stand.
I don't know how to tell you this, but you got a 15-year anniversary coming up. I recommend you get that done.
Oh, I should do that. That's a great idea.
You're welcome.
I got a week to knock it out. I think I may do that. Wow, you
You're
just
welcome.
saved me because
Yeah.
we're just going on a hike and
I do
having a
this.
steak. I didn't plan a gift, but yeah, the sign.
Wait, don't say it. Oh my, look at it. Do not say to people that y'all were telling yourselves on live stream. You just said out loud. Oh. Yes, he did plan a gift. He's just kidding.
But
Okay.
yeah, I will get that done in time. I'll have to post a video of it. But yeah, the signs are interesting. There's tons of like overseas companies that will cut signs for penny of the dollar. I made a buddy a big sign for his podcast studio, and it was like 38 by 38. And I I think I charged him, and I custom powder coated it with standoffs, and I think I charged him like $350, and I couldn't fit it in a box, and I took it to FedEx, and we packaged it up, and the dude weighed it out, and it was $400 to ship.
Yeah, shipping costs more than that's what I was gonna
And
say.
I
It's
was
like
like,
the size
I'm
of the
done making
sign.
signs. Like, I'm
Yeah.
done mailing signs. Like, I'll do them for the local community for sure. And like maybe like a 12 by 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
And if it's just flat, but because that was 2 layers with standoffs,
Yeah.
like if it would have been like 40 by 40 by 2 inches, it would have been like $100 to ship. But the fact that it was like 3.5 inches for whatever reason, so it just took me to the cleaners on that pricing. So I'll do signs locally, but I'm not going to get into the business of like shipping signs. There's so many people doing that.
Exactly, JB. He said Ryan's wife. How'd the show go? Ryan, what show? I definitely didn't tell on myself regarding your gift. I was like, no, you just didn't do that.
She's not on social media, so as long as I don't share this with her, I should be safe. So.
I recommend not sharing it. Let's see. And Jared says he may have you work on his lat roll machine gripper conversion kit because he said that you look like you're more than qualified for it.
Cool. Let's talk.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. Yeah, so you guys can get that sorted out. So I was thinking when my brother said the thing about the sign. So we're supposed to visit Mario, swing through. There's a project I'll talk about a little bit offline with you, but I think it would make sense. Now I know how close you got. Well, close is relative in Texas, okay? But we've been thinking about a Texas tour because I haven't been to Texas in a minute. Like we went to the original French Sport location back in like 2018, but I haven't been to Texas for a Garage Gym Life related thing in a minute. So I'm like, maybe we just knock out, like just do like a tour to Texas, go through and, just kind of like stop and see everybody. And
I would love that.
We can, if he orders a sign from you, we can throw the sign in the back of our car.
There you go.
On the way back so that we can drive back. Because we would definitely drive if we did it just because of what we would be trying to do. I think it would just kind of make a little bit more sense. And I've actually driven to Texas a lot. I've driven to Texas multiple times. I just haven't gone for like Garage Gym Life stuff. It's been for personal things. Man, look,
if you can't make it out here, I'll come out to Mario's for sure. So.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. When I tell you what I'm thinking about and what we're working on, it'll make sense to you why we want to come out to where you are. But dude, go ahead because you mentioned a couple times that people can reach out to you. Tell them how they can find you on social media. I'm gonna go ahead and put their website up one more time so people can see it. It's caracarametal.com. But how can people find you on social media if they have a question about a project for you, or can they reach out to you through your website?
Yeah, there's a form on my website where they can reach out. I copied Dean's style where like you can place a pre-order for a custom order, and I only take on a certain amount at the time, so that it requires people to have some skin in the game. Because so many people have ideas, but like translating that into a physical product is a Herculean effort. So either through caracarametal.com, or I'm active on Instagram. That's the social channel I use the most. I really like making quick videos. So either of those work.
Awesome. Well, man, I appreciate it. I know you're kind of hard on yourself, but I think this was awesome. And it was a really fantastic idea from a content perspective, because I love showing the process. So people can understand, not just getting to know you and how you think and how, the care you take and what you do, but also so they can see what it takes for you to do that. It's not just a rinse and repeat type of thing. So I appreciate it. And we're going to let you go so you can finish your welds for the day and get the rest of your day going. Don't forget to make the sign. And I'll talk to you later. All right.
Thanks for having me on. Great time.
Yeah, man. Later.
See ya.
So that was my guy, Ryan from Caracara Metal. You guys make sure you definitely check him out. He is a fantastic dude, as you guys can see, and very dedicated craftsman. So you guys make sure that you go check out his website, check out his Instagram, and, just hit him up. Even if you don't have an idea for a project, still go to his Instagram, check it out, because you'll see some cool stuff that you can watch there. Okay. All right, now we're going to go to the, let's see here. We got the final segment, and we're going to go ahead and do that right now. It's almost over, but I got one more thing to say. Here it goes. That's right. One more thing to say, and that's what we're going to talk about is what I learned this week. This is actually pretty simple. So what I learned this week is how awesome our supporters are. From Letha showing up to support Naomi at her triathlon, to Carp giving me a heads up last week that a link I had promised to add to the video description, I forgotten to add. To Kevin and his family, Home Gym Gains, to Kevin and his family mentioning us randomly during his videos, not just his live streams, but his videos. To Carlos, Ashley, and Trevor, letting me crash out periodically with them on the phone during the week. Even JB, unprompted, and I didn't realize he was going to be here today, but I already had this in the rundown to say, JB bringing up unprompted the Mermaid Bar when he went to the RitFit showroom. That was support as well. And we have so many more examples of how supportive you guys are. You guys are awesome. And that, more than anything else, keeps the fire lit in me to do this. It means a lot, and I don't tell you guys enough, so I want to make sure that I tell you every time I remember to tell you. So thank you so much for all of your support all of the time, because you guys remind me over and over again about how awesome you are. All right, so coming up next week, we got Mailbag Monday at 3:15, and next Friday we are going to be live and in person at HomeGymCon. I am super excited to see all of you guys there. Please don't hesitate. Last year, people were saying that they were like, they didn't, not just me, but they were like not sure about coming up to talk. As long as I'm not actively filming something, with the exception of the live stream, feel free to come up and talk to me during the live stream. If we're actively doing something, you'll be able to tell because I have a camera pointing at me. But if I'm just walking by, please don't hesitate to say hi. And in fact, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you now in advance. Yes, I'm happy to take a picture with you. Happy to do a shout out on the video with you. This is stuff that I never, even a year ago, I never dreamed that anybody would want me to do stuff like that. So if you guys want to talk to me, heck yeah. Okay, Sean, you said you want to hug me. Okay, all right. I guess we're taking hugs too. Come on. All right. Hey, I appreciate that, Ryan. He said I'm good at what I do. I appreciate that, man. I try to be. I will say this, that I have the same attitude towards this show that you have towards your welding and creating physical products. So it really does mean a lot to us when you guys show the appreciation. I am going to make sure you don't get lost, Eric. I can't stop you from going out drinking with the Germans, but I can and will show you how to get to the room for the live stream Friday morning. After that, you're on your own. But yeah, so make sure you stop by our live stream at the Anchor booth. Keep signing up to be at our in-person live show. Make sure you guys come and cheer me on, or if you want to come and boo if you want to. When I bench at the Bells of Steel booth, you can do that as well. Make sure you sign up for the Bench Your Bodyweight competition. Most of all, though, keep stacking days. Thank you so much, y'all. Peace out. Oh, no, make sure if you're a channel member, make sure you're there for the live stream tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking about the Shopify store. I want to give you guys a reveal of it, and I need to get your feedback. I really, speaking of support, need your help. I need your feedback. So it's a redirect here. And for the replay gang, it's going to be a thumbnail. It'll be like the end screen element, so you guys can be there. Okay, make sure you come. We're not recording it, so you got to be there for it live. All right, there we go. All right, that's it.